I knew you changed.
Oh man.
I can't be bulging. Is it really bulging?
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're
How
okay.
about
Keep
now?
it together.
I have to suck this in for the rest of the show for 2 hours.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh my god.
We live in a time where you shouldn't care about your body this much, Keenan.
that's true.
Lies.
Body
Fucking
positivity.
lies.
It makes you harder to kidnap.
It does?
Yeah.
Because I'm fat?
Yeah.
What if they offer me like a Subway sandwich or something?
Oh,
Kinda
you
easy.
would probably go home
Yeah.
for a Subway.
Or
Yeah.
candy or something.
Bro, don't at least Jimmy John's or something.
Something better than Subway. You know, if you
Or
want
like Jersey Mike's.
if you want to
something.
kidnap me, candy is the easiest thing.
Just give me tacos.
I will
and
totally
I'll go.
eat some sweets and get taken up. But welcome to the show, Akshay. The pre-show, the show of
Yes.
pre-shows. See, those
Well,
were
I
pizza
have to
boxes.
ask,
I could have had it.
Why
Little
don't you
platter.
play Modern Warfare anymore? I do not see you online. You
Oh.
don't send invites.
Yes, because I'm working.
Oh,
I got some work projects, sign building and website making and all that stuff. So
that's
the past,
excellent.
I've been kind of busy for the past couple of days or week. I missed out
Wow.
on the new update for Call of Duty, so that kind of sucks. But
It's all good.
I'll see you in a bit later. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get to play soon because I know that I'm fun employed, so I would love to play.
Yeah, and it lightens up a little bit. Yeah, so it brightens us up. Yeah, sorry, actually, Joe's trying to get the lighting mood.
Oh wow,
Um,
we got lighting.
Yeah,
There's so much ambiance over there.
whatever, Deech.
Body positivity.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But this. Oh, you see what?
Hey, it's
Nice.
VSOP, bro.
What is this?
Ooh,
How about the good
Oh, it's
stuff?
Hennessy. Oh, okay.
I like that. That's good
You do?
stuff.
You like
It's
the
the right
Hens?
kind of drink
yeah.
for Keenan.
All
Am
cognacs
I
are
right,
cool.
Keen?
You racist ass man.
I didn't.
Why?
Gosh, you didn't tell
Let me
what
get a couple
you didn't
eyes
say
right
what
here.
it's supposed
Let
to
me
be
get a
mixed
couple eyes
with,
first.
and I will agree with you. What's it called? Yeah, let
The
people know.
Incredible Hulk. You want?
No, the French Connection. You're
oh,
the one
the
that
French
got me
Con-
on
oh,
it.
yes, of course,
Joe's the
of
one that
course.
got me on the French Connection.
Is
Well,
that with like orange juice and like cognac? Is that
Oh,
what it is?
No, it's
No.
Grand Marnier and Hennessy.
Grand
Oh.
Marnier. Wow,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
believe we're
Okay.
here, guys. We're here.
Your French sucks, Keenan.
you know, I'm an
I'm
American.
You're an American.
And around
speaking
here,
American.
sir.
American.
Around
speak
here, we
American.
speak the right way. Gentlemen, cheers,
Cheers,
Akshay.
cheers.
Cheers
Akshay.
to you.
Cheers to you,
Glass
Akshay.
This
is
is
way
episode
up.
100.
Yeah.
Way up.
Oh, whoops! I'm supposed to drink it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely
I will
fantastic.
be enjoying some whiskey on my end.
Okay.
Not as bougie as you folks, but I'll still have some Japanese whiskey.
Japanese
and
whiskey,
enjoy
nice.
myself.
That's what's
That's
up.
right.
Okay.
Oh, it's tasty.
Nice.
All right,
You're
so-
tasty.
I'm gonna get it started. We're just gonna get it going because this is where we're at. As people start coming in, ladies and gentlemen, should I just start the intro right now and then explain further after the intro?
Yeah,
Let's
because
do it.
I mean, if people miss the intro, fuck them.
Yeah, right.
Fuck our audience
'em.
and fuck our listeners.
No, they're gonna be coming in. We're just, hotly
Keenan's now been
anticipating.
booted off the show.
Welcome all to episode 100 of the None of Our Business podcast. We are your hosts, Deech,
Say my name.
Daniel,
Say my name.
Deecher, DeechDaddy.com,
Oh, yeah.
Sean.
Oh, yeah.
We got CNN, Dunkaroo, C-Section, C-Notice, C-3PO, C-4, see your way out of here. We have Keenan Duncan.
Doodle
Today, we're going to have many guests coming in and out,
Yes.
starting with the one and only Akshay,
Oh. Yes.
Dupelia, Stalker 45.
Wow, God. Are you trying to?
We
click on
got.
something?
Oh my goodness!
Is it my brother?
No, it isn't. It's
That's
someone else. Akshay Dupelia, we got him in the house. We got none other than the one, the only ex-host, co-host of the None of Our Business podcast. We have Philly, phenomenal Philip
what's up,
Lanos
Philly?
in the
He's
house.
Yeah.
Philly, you're muted right now. If you want to unmute yourself, feel free to do so.
Yes.
This is awkward.
We haven't fully announced it yet, but they'll know. Can I put my drink down
We
there,
can
sir?
hear you a little bit. You're a little low though.
Thank you. Hey, that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it sounds like you're far.
Yeah, but it's totally cool. Just put that mic next to your mouth.
Can you guys see me though? I'm trying to.
No, we
you're
can't
trying
see
to do
you.
the
He's
the
trying.
video
Yeah.
stuff.
We
But
learned it from we
you
learned it
from
from
Keenan?
Phil. We learned it from Phil. Oh, there he is. Look at
There you
him.
go.
Up,
Up
nice.
Up there.
Little sexy face preview.
What a tease.
I
It's
know.
coming in. We're recording all of this, so he's
Yeah.
over here troubleshooting as we're recording. So today is our
Oh, yeah.
100th episode.
Yes.
Big, huge announcement coming into the 100th episode.
Wow, wow, wow.
We want to thank
This
those
guy
of you who
over
are
here. Oh,
listening
never
in. We want to thank Akshay and Philly for coming in during the recording session. Like I said
Sir.
earlier, we're going to be having a lot more people coming in and out. We're not expecting everyone to stay on, but I
No.
mean, if they do,
If you
gonna
do,
be
that's
fucking
great.
Dope.
Yes. It's a live
Big,
show for you guys.
Huge announcement. It is our honor and privilege to announce Deech Chung is going to be joining us as our co-host.
Thank you.
He has joined the None of Our Business podcast family.
Yes.
You're going to be seeing him with us every single week,
Yes.
giving his perspective on whatever the fuck we talk about because we're fucking nuts and we're happy to have him.
100%.
Yes.
It is an honor.
Congratulations,
An honor
sir.
to be here
Yay.
and to be with you guys.
And this isn't weird at all that Philly's in the session
No, not at all.
here joining us.
Can you guys see me now?
Yeah,
we
we
can
can see you.
see
We
you,
can see
yeah.
you. Here's the
Yeah.
thing. Here's the thing. For those of you, and we've stated this before, Philly used to be a co-host with us. He decided he wanted to go try some other things, and of course, we're gonna give him all the luck and positive vibrations
Yes,
to go
sir.
do that.
And with some
He's
yerba
over there
mates.
drinking his yerba mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, Philly ventured off into some other things. He's doing those things, and he's doing quite well at that. I mean, look at his setup. It's a lot better than ours right
Very
now.
professional looking.
How does my video quality look?
The
Looks
video
good.
great.
It looks
better than
HD.
ours.
I know.
It's
You
running
actually have
through my
fluid
camera.
movement.
It's from your camera?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ours is
So cool.
because that must be a webcam thing. Because look at Philly when he moves, it's like it's
There's no
one.
lag.
It's, yeah,
There's no
it's
lag.
120 hertz. Like
I came in big dick swinging.
See, he's like, oh, you guys are still doing this None of Our Business podcast?
I know.
That's funny.
It's like this is why I left. Look at my quality.
He just leveled up. He leveled
He
up.
did.
He absolutely
He got
leveled
rid
up.
of his old
Ultra
party crew.
instinct.
So we're here, guys. This is our 100th episode. We've been, we started it with Filthy. He left us. He left us right after season 3, amicably, of course. I mean, obviously, he's joining us
Yeah.
today to be part of this very monumental moment.
Yeah,
so.
and Deej is going to take us into the new order, the new world order.
Yes.
When we take over the world, Deej is here for the first part of that.
Yes,
That's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be awesome.
dip my dick in it.
Yeah, big
Yes.
dicks.
And it is a big dick.
for
We've all
everyone.
seen
Oh,
it.
we got people.
Yeah.
We got more people.
Yeah, Joe
Hold
is trying to be the live producer of our show, doing the clicky
Yeah, we
clacks.
got. Let's click them in here.
Um,
We got Siobhan coming in.
What's up,
have
Siobhan?
My sister Brandy coming
Hey,
in. We got people
Brandy.
coming in here.
We got
Some are
somebody in the
driving,
car.
some are.
That's nice. Well,
Did
there,
you
as
know
you tune
you
in.
could connect your Zoom recorder to the Zoom thing to use it as your main audio card?
What do you mean?
Like
think that's
how
what
I'm
we're doing.
using This,
Yeah.
You guys can, because the way I hear you, it doesn't sound like what I think the Zoom
Oh.
audio.
That's fine. We tested it out earlier. When it gets played back, it comes out fine.
Yeah, for us. So
Oh,
maybe you guys
shit,
don't
my
hear us.
bad.
The audio isn't. Siobhan, welcome.
Hey, Siobhan.
Just so everybody knows, when they do come into the room, it automatically mutes you. So if you want to speak, just feel free to unmute yourself.
my phone.
If you're just trying to listen in, you don't have to worry about that. Brandy, thanks for
I'm trying
coming
to
in
get
as
my-
well.
Call the people and tell
Oh,
them, hey, we're on live right now.
Yeah, we're live right now.
Yeah.
Everybody should know this. We're
Well,
here.
they
But
should
we're
know, but
not.
we know people out there, like, when you get notified, they'll be like, okay, all right, and then they totally forget about you. You kind of have to tell them, like the day of, the hour before, the hour, right then, right in the middle of it, to kind of be constantly notified.
Right.
We all know people like that.
Yeah.
And
So
by
who
the
let
and
Cisco
by
in
all
the
of them,
building?
I'm talking
I'm
about-
looking at one.
Oh, fuck
Who
you.
let Cisco in the building over here today? What is that?
What?
What do you mean?
No, he's a Mexican Eminem.
So right before the show started, Brandy actually came over to my
I know
to my
I missed
place.
you guys.
Brandy and Melissa came over to my place and they dyed my hair. So now
Oh, they did that?
Yeah, now I'm over
Liza
here.
Minnelli.
Oh, wow. Yes, the Liza Minnelli. I like it.
That's good.
I'm out
Yeah.
here looking cute. Like, what's up?
It looks like a neon yellow when I saw it on my phone. Like in the light. When you shine light on it, it glows.
Now,
Brandy, what did you use for the hair? Because it shines like a UFO light in the desert when you like put regular light to it. Is it just regular gel or something?
Just good old bleach. Good
Bleach?
old natural bleach and
Wow.
peroxide.
Did it
goes a long
spill on
way.
his skin? Because he's whiter now.
no,
He's
she
like,
actually
oh,
used
okay.
some product. I don't think it was just bleach and peroxide.
You're trying to get
She-
rid of the corona.
I feel like Joe's cultural appropriting though.
Oh.
Don't you think? He's blonde, really?
Wow, really,
He is.
blonde?
He's trying to take
It
over
was
the white
supposed to be
culture.
silver. You're the one that said, "Hey, it's gonna need a couple sessions, okay?" Like what? Here I am.
Dear Slim, I don't know if you got my last letter. Yes, you saw them perfectly.
They were saying I look like Bad Bunny now.
Oh shit!
Oye,
I said he looked like some.
disfruta la buena vida, baby. Come on, baby. Hey,
Calm
¿Tú
down,
qué
Joe.
estás?
Calm down.
He's like the
Estoy
drummer of a
bonita.
ska band that didn't make it.
ah, damn. Or what's the old dude from Linkin Park?
Chester Bennington?
Chester.
Oh, rest in peace,
Ch-
Chester.
yeah, all right. But he had blonde
But
hair at
since
one
you're
point,
Latino,
right?
it's Chestoforo.
Chistoforo. Did he? I don't even
I don't
remember. Did he had blonde hair? At
I
one
didn't
point,
listen to
didn't he?
Linkin
It
Park.
was always short, so.
It wasn't Linkin
It was
Park.
always
So,
short.
yeah, I think he
I was
did.
more of a
Become
Blink-182. Or Limp Bizkit kind of guy. Oh,
Limp Bizkit?
Blink-182 and Limp Bizkit. Yeah.
That's
He
what.
even
But
looks like
not-
he's from Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, whatever. Okay, my hair is bad.
ODB.
I'm
ODB.
Yeah.
But I've seen people
Oh,
with
nerdy
the
bastard.
nasty nappy hair, and nobody says anything to them. Like D.L. Hughley has it, like mad crazy out there. Godfrey has it up
This is
top, but
awkward.
Patrick
My-
Beverly.
Keaton has it.
I have no. But there's plenty of people that wear the nappy natural, and nobody says shit to them.
A lot of basketball players in the bubble had
Had it.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jimmy
yeah.
Butler had it.
Yeah.
Patrick Beverly.
Patrick Beverly.
So
Oh,
you're saying I
Patrick
need to be a
Beverly.
basketball player to get away with nappy hair?
Yeah, absolutely.
you
That
need to
is
be
super
taller,
racist.
Hey,
be
man.
richer,
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't make the rules. I didn't make the rules.
taller and richer, bro.
Whatever. I accept my own hair.
I accept your hair too, Keenan.
No, you don't.
I do.
You always tell me
I
to
just
cut
wish
it.
sometimes you get a little taper
Oh,
or
my
something,
God.
man, you know?
I'll taper these balls.
Because I like your long hair. Do you mind if I touch it? Can I
Okay,
touch
yeah,
it?
yeah.
I like your long hair.
Put your fingers in it, though. Put your fingers in it. Like you can't. It's so thick. You
Oh,
can't
I
even put
can.
your fingers in.
I can.
Oh
and
yeah.
I will.
Well, shove it harder if you can.
Look at you. I'm sorry. We're over
We
here
lost
being
a member
cute.
because of our dirtiness.
It's all right. It's all right. We got.
I mean, you can
oh,
touch it too, Deech, if you
we
want.
got smell coming in.
There you go. You can just get your hands all in there.
There we got
Oh.
Melissa
I know,
here
I
now.
know.
Hey.
Yeah.
So
Melly Mel, is that it in the house?
you know, so for those of you who don't know, who are listening in, because obviously, like, well, we already have some guests in here. Anyone who's in here right now has been a previous guest. We have Akshay, we have Siobhan, we have Melissa, and of course Philly. He was a former host.
Akshay, Siobhan, Melissa. no, you guys
I get it.
Throwback?
I get
Pablo.
it.
It's a throwback.
Speedy Pablo.
Freakily.
All right, Deech.
Yes, sir.
I
Yeah,
gotta,
see?
I gotta show you my new getup, Philly. I dressed like you for today.
You
You
did.
can't see it right now, but trust me, I dressed like you for today. Joe's seen it.
I feel so
Oh,
weird
wow.
because like this is interesting. This is an interesting situation that we
Like
have.
you think we can do this more often?
I mean, like doing maybe we start. I don't know. Maybe
I would
we
love to
start
see
live
it when there's
streaming,
like
I don't know.
80 screens of people. Like we have
I'm
our
sure-
own little.
Look,
what do you
we're
call it?
barely starting. I'm sure people are going to be dropping in and
I-
dropping
I
out.
wonder if my family's actually gonna listen to what I ask. Like, hey, bro, can you please chime in? Like, okay.
I mean, yeah. If anyone wants to say anything as far as any
Yeah.
input on or something that they've heard us speak on, you know, in the past, and they want to
Yes.
Yeah.
comment on
Yes.
that.
And feel free to tell people too. Like anybody can join this. It doesn't have to be your own personal self. Like whoever's in the house with you right now can chime in.
Yes, again, and if you're just joining, when you join, it mutes you automatically. So
Yes.
if you want to speak, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
So Melissa, if you've been saying stuff, nobody can hear you, and honestly,
Which is the way Joe
nobody
likes
wants
it.
to
Yeah,
listen
but-
to you.
I was
so,
gonna
yeah.
say. Same
As
thing with
the
you,
admin,
Siobhan.
aren't you allowed to mute people or unmute people?
I thought we could.
Yeah.
And I
you
think
can.
there's an option right there that says mute all. But
Well,
and then you can click on the button next to the window. You can in the top in the.
Well, Akshay's
Didn't
unmuted.
anyone
And the
ever tell you it's rude
participation
to
part.
point, Keenan?
I know.
How about this? Is this point? Is this pointing proper?
Well, it says ask to unmute. It doesn't say I
I
can
think
unmute.
Even
you
those-
can mute people, but you can't unmute them if they're already
Yeah.
muted.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're muting yourself. You have to
So
unmute
you can
yourself.
mute and then unmute.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melissa got it, and she's got the video too.
Are you?
Nice.
Is she already home?
That's some fast
Oh,
driving.
no,
there.
that's some fast.
She's a speed
So
demon.
Melissa lives out in the boonies, and she just left my place maybe like 2 hours ago. So that's pretty fast.
damn near Fresno.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say maybe that far, but I mean, like, it's out there.
It's far
But
up to
thanks for
look at
bringing the Hennessy, by the way. We have our
Yes,
buddy Deej
sir.
bringing in the good shit.
Oh, she got
First
all the
try.
good genes, huh, Joe?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
shit.
mean,
I'm kidding.
what are you talking about? I have good genes too. See,
Yeah, Rip
these are
genes.
Hollister.
Yeah.
Melissa, actually, your voice is like,
They're
I
holy
can't hear you at all.
yeah, we
Holy
can't
shit.
hear you at all, Smell. If you're saying anything.
Are you saying? Her mouth is
She's-
moving, but
Yeah, you
nothing's coming
sound.
out.
Look, I'm just gonna mute you.
Oh shit!
Melissa,
Unmute yourself?
bottom right or bottom left, there should be
Unmute
an option
yourself
that
again?
says
Oh, we got
mute.
This is
Next
gonna
to the
be
microphone or the
a
video, the
tutorial
camera?
podcast.
This is fine.
We're
This
gonna
is
explain
fine.
you how to do it.
Yeah, so we can't hear it. And unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
I'm gonna send her a picture of what it should look like.
Okay, yeah.
trying.
Text
She's
it to
trying.
text it to Melissa. She's looking at it.
We're
she's
just
reading
gonna. I'm
stuff.
just gonna lip read. keep talking, Melissa. I have
like,
a
You're a
dumb
bitch
Oh,
face.
it's
ass
bitch ass
motherfucker. Oh,
And we all heard that.
got it. Got it.
We can lip read from now on. We got it. That's good.
That's funny.
But we got some other cool stuff. I mean, speaking of like mad traveling, Deej just came from Big Bear.
Yes.
Hey.
Out in that boonies to the east.
Yeah, as soon as we heard that Gavin Newsom was gonna
Yeah.
do that curfew thing,
I
we're
like
like, you know
that.
what? Fuck this
Now
bitch.
that
I like
didn't,
that.
that didn't necessarily. If you're saying that's in effect, I have firsthand proof that that was not in effect yesterday. Because yesterday I was out to like 12, practically damn near midnight, seeing people in downtown walking around, going to places, driving around everywhere, and there wasn't traffic.
I don't think
but
they're
people
gonna
are
enforce
out.
it though.
That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
it's not.
Here's the thing about that. Like, I feel people are kind of done with Newsom shit. Like, they're
Because he got caught doing some shit that was not
yeah,
against.
Well, yeah,
right?
but like just the way that I think everyone's sentiment, for the most part, is kind of like disappointed in just the way that our government in general has handled like this whole situation. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I feel like people have needed a lot more help, and they just haven't received that. You know, so I think, you know, putting another curfew in place, unless you're gonna enforce it with police officers, nobody. Well, a
They
lot
did it
of
with the
people aren't
protests.
gonna care. Aren't gonna care to abide
they
by
won't.
it.
Right. Even
And-
with the protests, people were still out. They had police out, but people were still driving around. They didn't really. I mean, unless you were actually protesting, they actually come and grab you and put you in like a police car or something like that. But regular ass people could still do whatever regular ass shit they wanted to. Like during the protests, people were still driving out in my neighborhood, just getting to home or wherever.
Yeah.
They weren't protesting, but there was no lockdown per se,
Hey.
like we see in the movies.
Right.
Is that you, Melissa? Was that you dropping your phone with the audio?
Or was it something
Oh, yeah.
else? Hey! There it is.
I'm back, bitches. What's
Hey,
up?
let's go.
You sound like shit.
Damn.
Stupid ass.
Aw.
Family. Wow.
Look at her, looking all dumb and shit.
Wow.
We're not
Hey,
recording
dog,
this,
I can't let
so
you talk
nobody
about your
was saying-
sister that way, dog.
Yeah, I'm kidding. She's great. She was
Yeah.
she was sitting here while
You
Brandon.
probably want to hear back.
What?
You sound horrible.
I said,
You know what? Just mute yourself
you
again.
want to hear back.
Yeah. Don't worry, Melissa. Joe's being Joe. She knows.
So
But yeah, no, the whole Gavin Newsom lockdown, I don't believe. Yeah, you both are right. Unless they have the Coast Guard, military tanks and shit out here lined up so you can't go anywhere, and they block streets off, they don't block streets off either, then you're free to do whatever you want.
And now
So you're
again,
talking about martial law. You would like to see martial law?
Dude, if I saw martial law, I'd probably have a cookie and some milk. Yeah, it'd be awesome. Sitting on
How
my
about
porch.
just martial
What does
matters?
that mean?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying that we need martial law. I think people are just fed up with the lack of assistance. So now people are just like, well, you know what? You're not going to stop me from going out. You're not because
Right.
you haven't helped me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been some, but there hasn't been an incredible effort to actually help the people. And now they're trying to impose more restrictions, and it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm abiding by them. I'm gonna stay in at 10 because I'm trying to help in any way I can. But the fact is that a lot of people don't really care anymore. I mean, we're going into our 7th, 8th month into this.
Yeah, pretty much.
And people are probably thinking, okay, well, now you want us to abide by this again when you weren't helping in general, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Ruth,
Hey, I know her.
again. So anybody
Hey.
coming in, you're muted
She
automatically.
went
So
to
if you
high
want to speak,
school.
you just have to unmute yourself. All right, Ruth, there you go.
Hey, you got the
So,
family in the background.
Do you,
Ruth.
do you, ha- do
Thank
you have any input on this, Akshay?
Well, for me, I'm more curious about the consensus of the group. I really think that there's so little that we can do as individuals, aside from obviously like wearing masks and sheltering in place as much as humanly possible. But to your point, I agree. There has to be some sort of aid. But I want to take it a step further. How do we pay for that aid? And who sets that aid up that would be in a line with everyone's views fairly? What do you think?
Well, maybe not spending hundreds of trillions of dollars for the Defense Department.
I know, and I need a job. They still won't hire me. That's fucked up.
I mean, we could look at something like here in LA, something as petty as yes, we wanted to defund the police, and get kind of establish some new regulations. And what did the sheriff's department do? They started eliminating certain programs that would help people in kind of like a slap in the face.
Yeah,
like,
like,
okay, you're gonna defund us.
Really?
Here you go. Yeah.
You're gonna
Take
defund
that.
us, so this is
So
what we're
that's
gonna
kind of
eliminate.
petty.
So
Yeah.
it's incredibly petty.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, we took some money, but now what? And
Well, did you hear about what they did in Berkeley in regards to the Black Lives Matter movement? Is that they actually started a third-party liaison to help hold police officers accountable for any unjust arrests or behavior.
we need that. We absolutely need that. I think
Every city needs that, small
Right,
or large.
Right. You need somebody
A
to
third party.
to
So
check
that's
up
why I
on
was
that.
suggesting we need to come up with like a third party organization that takes into account everybody's views and then, does something on the consensus level of being fair.
And then where the
What do you
funding, and then you just have to ask your question where the funding is to go into that,
Yes.
and then to find the people who are willing to do that too.
now, okay, so I believe in the free market and all this stuff, right? But I do also see that there are all these corporations that are making a shitload of money and not being taxed for it. Now, imagine if those companies were taxed. There's that money that you need.
Yep.
If they
Yes.
use it and take it, because they can do that, but then put it into the
Something
defense
else, yeah.
stuff. They can.
But that's
There
all
has to be-
tax law.
There has to be an okay, this is going conspiratorial, but I'm truly believe any of those things that you think are legit, like, oh, these taxes will help towards blah, blah, blah. The government can find some crazy ass loophole to shove it into something that is not really necessarily needed,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're back to square one again.
Right. Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so with funding, like if you want to pull out of taxes, right? There are so many loopholes that have been created by a
Right.
variety of different administrations that allow you to hide money in any way, shape, or form, or just reallocate, put it into different pots. That's why there's so little coming from these corporations. They're not breaking any rules. The rules suck.
Yeah, they do.
Right. So you need somebody to enforce the enforcers, then enforce the enforce of the enforcers, and then enforce the money. Like, there's always got to be checks and balances all the way down. Eventually, it has to boil down to something where we have to stop and go, okay, we have enough people checking on enough people and checking on enough financial stuff that then it comes down to, I guess, people who abide by it. Because I mean, we have people that check on things and stuff still gets hidden or lost or what do you call it? Not subterfuge, but what do you call it when people withhold stuff from somebody?
Redact or
Something. I just think I eventually I get down to people as who they are and their personalities and their the mentality of just us as people. Like I forgot what the word
That
is. It's something where it's like where you withhold
That's-
somebody.
That's a definite fundamental issue that is not being addressed is the fact that you can't have the whole group and everyone in the group happy. It simply
Yes.
isn't going to work, and it's the
Well,
main
yeah.
challenge in governance,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And then the second most fundamental issue is the current taxation law. Those two things, and it's not just taxing the billionaires, but as you said, also then funneling the money to the proper channels, and who is managing that?
I think he's at Staples. Let's try to guess where he's at. Are you at Staples?
Dude, where
Right.
are you? Sorry, Philly. Sorry, Philly. He's like in a grocery
Home
store.
Depot.
Oh, Costco?
Home Depot. Yeah, I
Home
said
Depot. I
Costco.
think is that.
Whoever gets it right gets
I think it's Staples. I think he's at like the
Home
office
Depot.
Max
gets
or something.
$1,000 in Monopoly
now,
money.
now I have
But Philly,
I have-
you're right. You're totally right, Philly.
I have a question, Filthy, because you were actually interviewing for your podcast, The Blueprint. You actually were interviewing a bunch of political candidates and actual city council members. What did you receive? What did you get from that? From those interviews that maybe can give us some insight on what we're talking about, because that's
What I
local
learned-
government.
Yeah, what I learned is that anybody who got close to lawmaking, actually, as the higher they went up, the less they wanted to talk about what was going on. Regardless of whether I agree with their platform or not, the conversation we would have before recording was hit was, and and it's because they're afraid. So they're afraid of who is going to then influence whether or not they actually get the position based on if they talk about things like the Black Lives. Because I had so many questions lined up, but the only ones who were willing to talk about that were the actual underdogs. A lot of other people wouldn't even take the interview once finding out that I was going to address some of the things that were currently happening.
Really?
Yeah. Once you get high up
Wow.
and you see behind closed doors, once you see who's the fucking wizard or whatever, now you're on the platform to keep it secret.
Which is why I know that taxation is the true issue, and it has a lot to do with the fact like certain channels only cover certain stories. I wouldn't even trust the more democratic, more liberal media, such as things are some of our favorite shows, right? Seth Meyers.
Hey, stay away from my boy
the
Seth
Daily
Meyers. Philly.
Show. The Daily
Seth
Show
Meyers is trash.
I know,
with
yeah.
Trevor Noah.
Okay.
What
What about John
any
Oliver?
of those?
My
Because
man.
the establishment, you have to understand, like, even if they're staying indoors and they're making their money and then all their episodes have a charity behind it all, the thing is they're still able to function the way they're functioning.
Right.
Meaning they still have money in their pocket. Somebody is lining their coffers. And nothing short of them upsetting some very big people. The only people they're upsetting are the opposing party.
Right,
But they're not
right.
upsetting the status quo.
They can
So-
get close, but they'll never get close enough to really, like, get them
when
fired.
you look at, you've always known this at the macro level, right? So then when we bring it down to the micro level and you're looking at even local government being afraid to rock the boat, then it just goes to show you that at the end of the day, they're going to cover their own ass no matter who it's infecting. Like whoever is being affected by it. And that's just it. That's the challenge. Is as what this has done is only speed up what was happening anyways. There has been a gig economy developing since I want to say 2015, 2014.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I remember when Lyft started, I was doing a random event in Orange County, and some guy comes up and says, "Hey, do you mind if I bring this service that I'm working with in? They're from the Bay. They're doing this this service where you can just call up or get on the app and then just request somebody to come pick you up, and it'd just be a random person." He pulled up in a decked out like Lyft ride that had Lyft all over it and everything. I was like, "What the fuck is Lyft?" This must have been like in 2015, 14, somewhere around there. And lo and behold, like not even a year and a half, 2 years later, it was booming. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
the show Liza on Demand. the reason why it became so popular and why she was able to really launch, aside from her little Vine success, is because her show is predominantly based on the story of somebody who does every gig app possible, like a dog walking app, like Wags, which is an actual
Oh,
app.
really?
Oh, cool.
All these gig apps, right? And it's not just that. There are more and more freelancers increasingly. The number of freelancers in America is growing increasingly. That's why there's platforms like Fiverr,
Right.
Upwork, and all this has done is speed up the process. And that's why there was that thing on the ballot where they wanted to have contractors be seen as employees.
Okay.
Right?
Really?
Now, it's all because there's this big tug of war of avoiding paying people benefits, but still getting all the benefits of that work that's being done. And to make matters worse is as that continues to move forward, because it's going to be, if you haven't already prepared yourself for the idea of being a freelancer and having an entrepreneurial bent in the realest sense, meaning actually making sales calls with cold calls that people you've never even spoken to, and now that you can't go out to networking events, actually doing those things.
Yeah.
If you haven't already done that, you should start doing it now. Make all the mistakes you can now. I'm not doom speaking and trying to get you to feel like you're doom scrolling and
Right.
feeling the end of the world's coming. But what I'm saying is this isn't going to go anywhere, and it's only going to get more and more commonplace as technology continues to advance. The role of the employee is going to be a long gone thing, except for probably programmers and coders who live in a hub and work together like that. But other than that, there really isn't going to be much left as things move forward of the employee. There will be some people who have
That's
that,
interesting.
but the greater majority of people will be freelancers.
What about in your industry? It seems like that'll stay solid. Like, do you
Digital
see?
marketing?
Well, not. I mean, because Deej is in. Whoa!
Damn.
What the
That shit is
fuck?
loud.
That was loud as
Oh,
balls.
it's the feedback from your microphone.
No. There
There
was a ringing on.
Joe has
It
to
happened
silence
off of. It happened off Keenan's laptop. It's just.
Oh, my lap. Oh, now he's gonna blame me. Well, that's probably
mean, it
true.
is.
I mean,
But anyway, but Deech works in it's the
Women's fashion.
Women's fashion. So I mean, I don't know if that will go the route of what Philly's talking about because it seems like I don't know if somebody could maybe create an app that limits those workers or
I don't
companies.
think so.
But
I think, I mean, I think they need us to do all the legwork.
Right.
Know? So I don't think that's going to change for our
Now,
industry.
okay, yeah. Well, where it has changed is that now all these expos, all
Yeah.
these trade shows,
Mhm.
everything like that has been canceled pretty
Yes,
much.
pretty
I mean,
much.
it's the same with me with live events. Like live events have, for the most part, been canceled. We're doing drive-throughs, which is kind of keeping us afloat a little bit. But generally, anything that had to do with person-to-person interaction is pretty much it's pretty much gone for the time being. I'm pretty
Well-
sure you've done maybe one or two trade shows, but it might have been different.
It's different. It's way different. So I maybe a month ago, I just got back from Atlanta and Dallas from a trade show. So I mean, obviously with all the COVID like protocols and all that stuff, so they did change a lot. There's a lot less people that are coming. But yeah, like you said, it has changed in that we're doing a lot more Zoom like buyer meetings. We're not going out because I used to travel to San Francisco, to Nashville, to wherever for these huge buyer meetings, and now everything's online. So.
Yeah.
So could they still make a profit in product without all the employees that they had before? Because it looks like they're still trying to get their business going, and there's some success.
Well, I mean, our factories are in China, and I don't know of any way to make the garments besides to have someone
Gotcha,
actually
okay.
cut and sew. So
Okay.
I don't think that's going to change.
So
That's
and
the
with
other
that,
consequence.
right? I was gonna say,
That's the
and
other consequence of it,
that
yeah.
should also add to what Philly's talking about is that maybe in that industry, that's still gonna have like some type of corporate corruption, like greed is still gonna rule that
Oh.
business.
I was saying the other consequence of what's happened is that most companies have found out they can actually operate
Without people.
80%, yeah, less.
Okay, and that's what I was trying to get to Deech too as well. Is that can they operate without you guys?
I mean, I'm sure they can find a way, and I'm sure they're looking to find a way so that
Right.
they don't have to pay people to do the work.
Do you foresee like something
Not-
dangerous
not
like that?
within the next 10 years. No, not that.
Okay, so if anybody needs job security, go into women's
'Cause
fashion.
we're not a necessity. It's a luxury. It's fashion.
Right.
So I mean,
Would
yeah.
some say it's a
How,
necessity?
real quick, Akshay, I know you worked in the manufacturing business, and when we've spoken about this in our previous episode, But do you see that changing as well for you?
I think manufacturing as a whole has
I
changed
can still hear him.
tremendously. I think now, depending on which industry you're in, you're either absolutely necessary or you're struggling to find a new market to break into. With the number of people staying in house nowadays, you're seeing a lot more packaging and you're seeing a lot more growth in the packaging industry,
Yeah.
cardboard, styrofoam, you name it, trying to get products to people. You're seeing a big change on another side of manufacturing, which is shipping. Logistics falls under manufacturing. You're going to see a lot of the same protocols and SOPs between the two. So they work hand in hand. I think those industries are going to be booming for the next 10, 15, 20 years, if not the better end of our lifetimes, because of what we're going through now. And we're going to see it. It's a luxury to stay at home.
Right.
I've noticed that a lot of the people that would work, say, in the front offices of manufacturing plants are now being asked not to come in at all. So it's just the essential workers that are necessary, operational teams that are going to be on site. Even engineers are trying to split their days and not come in as frequently if they're not needed.
Right, right,
So
right,
I
right.
think we're starting to see that type of change per se. You may see more people getting involved with manufacturing, which could be good or bad, but I think you're going to see a boom in the shipping business. I know DHL has grown tremendously, and they were one of the underdogs, right,
Yeah.
compared to
Mm.
UPS,
Yeah.
USPS.
They died down.
Nice.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And I know, just yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I would say even the mask industry boomed like mad crazy. I've never seen so
Right.
many variations of mask at a Ross checkout line in my entire
I
life.
mean, almost any store you go to is gonna have like some type of
Yeah.
inventory in
And
masks.
even for us, we
Yes.
we created looks where we would have a set like a sweater and a pants set, and also have a mask that has the same pattern or the same fabric to include that. So it's a three-piece essentially, and for the better. Probably for the next few years, it's just going to be like that.
And
Yeah,
it was
we're gonna
never like that.
continue-
Like
no,
nobody
course
could
not.
even imagine. Hey, we're about to
fashion
start making
masks.
some.
Come
Yeah,
on, no.
it's some
I'm
wild
sure you
shit.
guys saw the stigma on masks. In the past, people thought that, oh, if you're wearing a mask, you have something.
Right.
Yeah, like some STD.
Like
or
Koreans
whatnot.
have been
Us
doing
from
it
that
for
something.
years.
Yeah,
Koreans have been doing it for
exactly.
years.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's mandatory, right? I heard that covering up tremendously in South
Josh.
Korea was normal
Right.
because of acid rain.
Yeah.
Acid rain.
Yeah.
It's
Are you
just-
In
familiar
China,
with this?
yeah.
Honestly, I thought that was some Chernobyl stuff.
Acid rain. No, no.
What up, Josh?
Hey, Josh. Reminder for anybody coming into
Oh, yes.
the to the room. It
Nice.
automatically mutes you. So if you want to speak, you just make sure to unmute yourself.
There you
I
go.
don't
That
need
was
to
fast.
speak. I'm
That was
fine.
faster
What's
than-
up?
Hey.
Josh, 7-0. 7-0, baby. Let's go.
So you look outside too. I
So
don't know
right
where
now-
you're at.
Yeah, right now we're speaking on just the way that the work environment has changed because of COVID and all these different industries and how they're trying to adapt. I know you work in marketing. Is there anything that maybe you want to touch on regarding that?
Acid rain, acid rain.
He's gonna start a new
Acid
album. Acid Rain album.
I'm marketing. I mean, shout out my marketers, my advertisers here, but we are essentially the least essential position known to man.
Wow, I thought it was
So,
women's fashion. Now it's marketing.
What
Okay.
the fuck you talking about, bro? Women's fashion is incredibly core to our values.
See,
Thank
that's
you.
what I said earlier.
Thank
Joe,
you.
I said that earlier. Anybody on this recording knows that I was supportive of Deech and his women's
Keenan-
fashion. I was shocked. Anybody
Keenan-
told me.
Keenan, notorious misogynist, of course.
What? I am not a notorious. Any ladies on here, which is not that many, can attest that I am not a
Any
misogynist.
Any ladies isn't helping your case.
Ladies is not a negative word.
It isn't. Siobhan or Ruth, do you guys have any input on this as far as like how COVID has affected your work life or your industry in general?
Well, first, let me say I'm not a fan of ladies.
Okay,
Oh,
there you go.
That's one lady out of how many billions on this planet? Thanks, Siobhan, for your input as an ambassador to the women culture.
So, wait, we can't use female, woman, or woman extend, or what do we?
Well, no. Okay. In general, it's fine, but I've had a guy like email, and respond, "Hey, ladies," who's like, "Nah."
You see, now we're
So
talking about
yeah.
context of the word
Ruth wants
rather
to
than its
come in.
definition.
Yeah.
but um, but yeah, I'm driving, so I was trying to make sure I was in a good spot before I chimed in. I have a lot of thoughts, of course, on the lockdown, how it's affecting the workplace, and but I'm always drawn back to that point where I kind of have to like check my privilege because it's like I know what I can afford to do, and if that I can afford to stay home for a couple of weeks, and I'm able to work from home, but there are a lot of industries who can't. And not only that, the people who can't usually don't have the resources to sustain them.
Right.
So it's like while I've been really frustrated with our leadership, both local and state level, it's like, okay, well, you know what, you guys already touched on it. What resources are available? Like, what are we going to provide so that people can just so we can't just lock the state down for 4 weeks and just get it over with? Because this intermittent, that somehow if I get in the house by 9:59, I'm not going to get COVID,
Yeah.
doesn't make
Right.
sense.
That
Right.
doesn't make sense.
So
Like it's a I think
yeah,
this
and
lockdown. I'm sorry to interrupt, but the lockdown just in general, because if we're going back
no,
to
yeah,
that, the lockdown just in general, um, I think this is a useless lockdown. If you were really going to do a lockdown, doing it from 10 to 5 a.m. doesn't it isn't going to do anything for you, and people are going to scoff at that. They're going to laugh at that because it's pointless. If you really wanted to do a lockdown, you would do something for like 12 hours. You do like a 7 or 8, to 5 or 6. Then people would kind of get the message. But if you're telling people,
and
oh,
that's actually what I said, like
right,
8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
that would be the difference. That would absolutely make the difference. But this is kind of just like I want to say it's kind of like a half-ass lockdown. It isn't really going to do anything, especially for people who don't really care to abide by the rules.
They didn't work
They're
for
gonna-
the protest,
yeah,
and that was
they're-
a legit.
Yeah,
It's
they're
close
gonna
to a
say
lockdown.
nah. They're gonna laugh at it. Personally,
Yeah, and I think that's kind of why people are just like rolling their eyes and not even like they're not even phased by it because like we keep getting different information. I understand some of it is because new information comes out, some of it's because information is being redacted or filtered down. But when the information keeps changing and it seems like nobody knows what they're talking about, it's like, well, like fuck it, why are we listening to you guys? So I
That's
think
exactly what it is.
yeah, because of course I'm trying to do my best, but then what's frustrating for me is when I go on Instagram and see people who don't look like they're in another universe. Like, where are you guys? Like, are you in some parallel universe where there's no pandemic because you guys are traveling, you're eating out,
Or
you're
it's just
hanging
not
out, you're
serious
at
enough for
parties?
them. People probably just don't care. How, like I was telling earlier, unless this was killing you, if you got COVID and it's an instant death sentence, people would probably take it differently. But because the information being spit out there is like half-assed, like, oh, if you're healthy or something like that, or if you're at a certain age, like it's just not taken serious enough because the actual cause and effect isn't as serious.
or they don't feel that it's as serious
Or
because
they don't
this
feel.
is a pretty fucking serious thing. I mean, even if it's a 1% of even if it's a 1% mortality rate, you have to consider that if you have 200,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, that the numbers add up.
But we're talking about the same people who like see the statistics of like gun violence and still want to have a gun. You know what I mean? Like, pe- it should get to a point where it's more detrimental to people's health for them to take it seriously, and that does suck. But I'm just saying that there's people out there that are like that, and that's probably one of the reasons why. If we were promoting it like it's the worst thing in the entire world, worse than anything we can imagine, but they're referencing it to like the common cold. They're not referencing it to like cancer or AIDS. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
What if,
crazy.
what if the issue is that people really don't know what they're doing, and people really don't know whether this is ever going to go away? Then, in order to maintain control and to keep a populace calm, the most important thing to do is to do anything at all and to exert force because of your office and tell people this is what's going to happen. At the very minimum, even if most people can see through it, the fact is there is an office that's exercising its authority and issuing statements like stay home during these hours, whatever it's going to be, while they scramble to hopefully come up with something. That's like you looking at your kid, trying to tell them not to do a certain something that you know they've seen you do 100 times. It's it's like
Right.
I'm the parent,
Right.
and that's the end of it, and that's really what's happening right now. I mean, when you have people in office who don't believe in science, and when you see all the things that have been done to move away from science for whatever reason, I mean, it's coming from the top levels, and even just because the parties locally say, "Oh, I don't like who's in office," doesn't mean that they're not in some way beholden to them financially, fiscally, through some way or another. As you know, a lot of the reason why unemployment fell apart for California for a lot of people is because of federal aid stopped being sent to be included in the budget of what California was offering people. So that being said, their arm was twisted, and so it always comes back to money, right? As if there's this thing, and when you have a populace that is trained more to take orders than to create value, right? I'm not saying so. Let me just be clear on this. I'm not saying you showing up, clocking in, and doing what you're told to do is not valuable. What I'm saying is there's a difference between that and creating value, right? Which is going into an economy, identifying a problem, and providing solutions yourself, right? As opposed to waiting for somebody to make the job for you, right? So that's what business owners have done, right? And small business owners in particular are the backbone of the country for that very reason that they're solving problems, right? Essential businesses are solving problems and creating that value in society, which is the actual wealth. And a lot of people who are trained to simply, who remain trained and only have been trained in coming in, doing that, checking what else is supposed to be done, and then doing that, aren't finding and spotting opportunities to create value. And that's why everybody who is part of the higher upper class, who do have businesses running, they're not suffering through this, obviously, because of all the millions of tax breaks that they're getting, right? But also because, for whatever reason, they themselves have been trained, and anybody who's slightly under them, on how to find opportunities to create value. Now, how do you solve that problem for people who don't know how to create value in the economy to supplement the income that they no longer have due to the fact that the job is cut back hours? It comes back to training. The problem with that is most adults have given up on education. So there's so many factors coming in at this, and it has a lot to do with not just basic economics, right? Personal economics. It also has to do with skill development, right? You could be, in fact, to run a business, you don't even have to have the skills. That's the
You
crazy
just
thing.
have to
Everybody's like,
you have to surround yourself with people who have the skill.
Yeah.
you
That's
just have to go sell the job
Right.
and then find the people who have the skills. But
Yeah.
who's going to go and do that? Only people who've made the mistake a number of times on the phone trying to
right.
get the job. And that's how you create value. It's what eBay did, right? Who wants to sell something? I do. Who wants to buy something? I do. Great. Here you guys go. Thank you.
Right.
Right?
No, you're right.
That's basic.
And I think well, the thing is that not everyone is going to be able to have that mentality that I'm going to create these opportunities for myself. Not everyone's going to have that because for the majority of the populace is just a working class. They're working class individuals. So those are the people that are struggling, and those are the people that need the most help. Because not everyone's going to all of a sudden switch it on and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm suffering right now. I'm gonna see what other opportunities I could create." No one's gonna do like for the most part, in our society, they're not gonna want to. They're not gonna do that.
Well, what does it look like in a scenario where everybody is that? Like, can
Well,
is that a possibility? Like everybody's their own boss, or everybody's
here's the
creating
trick.
something? Like I don't know if that's an
Here's the
actual
trick,
reality.
right?
Yeah.
The reason why all these like airplane companies and all these bigger corporations are getting the tax breaks and all the extra income being given from the government is because in theory they're supposed to be doing what small businesses do, which are local small businesses or mom and pop shops. Whether it's women's fashion companies and things of that nature that apply for loans from the SBA, right? The biggest chunks of those dollars are going to these major corporations because they supposedly employ the most people. So that's why they get those bigger chunks. But all of that takes away from the people who are actually giving jobs because the minute that those companies got the benefits from federal aid, they slashed all the staff who were supposed to receive jobs from that. Whereas the small business people, they want to keep the people that in their team on, but the only way they can do that is through actually having SBA loans approved. So when this whole thing first started, the whole SBA loan thing was nearly impossible to get within the first, I think, 3 days or so. They were all locked out, and it took a while. And only now is it opening back up. And in order to get that, you yourself have to have an LLC or some kind of independent sole proprietor situation. You have to have all the documents, whether you use LegalZoom or went and filed it with the state yourself.
I wonder how many of those of the companies that receive like an SBA loan, like if they really decided to investigate those companies and see who actually allocated those funds where they were supposed to be used. I wonder how many of those cases are going to come up fraudulent.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
I'm
right.
sure there are a lot.
Because I mean, not to rat people out. I'm not going to say any names or anything,
Hello.
but I know individuals who signed up for SBA loans who don't even have companies. They just happen to have an LLC, and they happen to be able to get the funding for an SBA loan.
Wait, what's an SBA loan?
It was the government loans that
Small
were being
Business Administration.
that were being handed out during COVID for small businesses.
I was trying to get one of those.
Dude, there was that one guy who got a loan, but he bought a Lamborghini or something, and they like found out.
Yeah, I wonder how many more. How
I'm
many
sure there
more
are
of those
ton.
companies are going to be?
Damn, I could.
Because if we know that,
couldn't get those, though.
what was that?
A lot of people couldn't get. They only gave those loans to a certain amount of people.
Right,
Because my
right.
boss tried to apply for one, and like he was asked out. And I mean, dude, I work for a small company. It's me and my boss. Like that's it.
Right.
You know.
Right. So
it,
so what I'm saying is now it's you and your boss, and this is Chris speaking. It says iPhone,
Yeah.
but I know that's
That's
Chris.
Chris. He knows Spice
Speezy,
voice.
yeah. So
He knows your voice.
I know. Hey, I know you. Sugar.
Yeah, the lights don't have
There
to be
he
on.
is. There's that pretty guy. But I know that there are individuals who I know personally who don't have businesses. They just happen to have an LLC, who were able to get those loans and took some of them away. Now it all varies on how much some of these loans were, because some of the people I know were able to get like $15,000 loans, and which eventually, and some of them were, I think some of them were grants. I don't remember where they don't have to pay it back, but
Yeah, or it's 3% at most, which is
Right.
totally different from what a bank would
Which
charge,
is
which at
fucked
least
up.
20%. Yeah.
which is super fucked up. Now Chris is saying that it's just him and his boss that are the company, and they weren't able to get it. Now imagine other people who just like him. Maybe Walter can chime in on this too, Taco Trap Lord, because he has his own franchise business as well. Now now he's an individual who also probably wasn't able to get like help. I'm just trying to bring people into the fold.
He's like, yeah.
Oh, he's on medium stuff. All right.
Walter, you want to chime in on this?
Yeah.
no, but no, dude. And
Oh,
it was
Chris.
hard because
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
my
Chris.
boss couldn't get that loan, dude. And no, like so, my boss couldn't get that loan, and he tried twice because I think they had like two stages. Like the first stage right away, like within a day, those loans were gone. And the second time he tried,
Oh, you're breaking up.
And then we heard about that thing you were saying too. He had an LLC or something.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost.
We got a Sprint user over here.
We're
Make
losing.
sure PCS.
Metro piece of shit.
I think Sprint owns Metro, don't they? Maybe.
I don't know. No, I get it. I get
What
it.
about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Yeah, so it kind of sucked, for my boss. But luckily, man, through this whole COVID thing, I mean, I'm a home inspector now, so I was really paranoid, bro. I started this job on March 16th.
Oh
right
shit!
before we
Big
shut
jump.
Damn.
That shit was terrifying. I mean, I got the interview. The interview went well. Showed me the money. I was like, I'm all in. And then, like, there was barely a hinge of COVID. And then, like, all of a sudden, like, boom, that shit hit like fire, bro. And I was terrified because it's a small business. I'm corporate, like, I'm used to dealing with HR and shit. And I called the dude like 3 times before I started. I was like, are we still good? Like, I still got a job or what? He's like, bro, trust me, you're still good. I'll plan on you working from home anyways because I had to do my training. So this is all good. We'll be okay. I said, all right. So luckily, man, I mean, I just stuck to it and it's worked out, man. But, we've had those problems where we've been scared at first. But after her first batch and then we picked up again and now we're hearing that they might shut down again. And
Right.
it kind of sucks, bro.
Damn.
Walter, do you have anything?
Were you trying to get the loan too, Walter?
Oh, damn, we have another situation. Yeah, we don't have your audio, bud. And now you're frozen.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yay, technology. We love it.
Yeah.
2020.
Audio's being weird. Are you using are you using
I kind of
earbuds?
hear you. I kind of hear you, but it looks like your headphones might be the source of the issue.
Yeah. Are you on your laptop?
AirPods.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
so you have to change. So what happens is you have to change the audio settings so that the mic and the speakers
Up
go
in
through your.
preferences, up in preferences, up at the top from the Zoom.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can
we
hear
got
now.
you. We
can
got
hear
you. Yeah,
now.
yeah. Good job.
All right, cool. So the company, when all this kicked off, man, the company I worked for, they didn't do shit. They didn't have any PPE. They didn't have anything. And when I called and said, "So what's the plan?" They said, "Business as usual."
Oh.
So we kept going on the other side, on the small business side. We didn't operate until probably a month and a half in because we wanted to let the restaurants get a chance to do their thing before we went out with the food truck. You know what I mean?
Right.
Our overhead wasn't as much as theirs, so we didn't want to step all over them because that's fucked up.
Now that's
So,
that's actually
we
considerate.
waited and, yeah, well, because we're good. You know what I'm saying? We're pretty much solvent, so we're good. And then unfortunately, like 2 months in, the damn food truck, the engine blows out. So we're kind of back to square one. But fortunately, luckily for us, we really didn't need to use any of those programs. I mean, I kept my job as much as I hated it. Still grinding. Plus, it's everything I do on the side, so
Right.
that shit never stops.
Ah, well,
You know?
I guess you weren't as affected as I thought you were. Moving on.
Well,
I mean, a lot of people
Melissa,
weren't.
You work in education, right? How has this impacted what you're doing?
Who? Melissa. Oh, Melissa.
Yeah.
Wait,
Can you hear
Philly,
me?
we're the fucking hosts. You don't get to call on people.
He's trying to come back in the
Wow.
show. Look at that. Wow.
left.
See what
I didn't
happens?
mean to do your job.
The
I
ghost
didn't
of
mean to
Philly's
do-
past coming in.
Well, he's doing your job better than you
Oh,
are.
no.
Eat a
God
chode,
damn.
Melissa.
Can we mute her?
Did you finish
Where's
taking
your
dump?
podcast?
Because it sounded like you were gone for a while. No, go
Yeah,
ahead. But education.
I don't take as long as you do.
Well,
but,
we have a
you know,
couple
we're
people in
kinda
education.
extra.
Melissa, so how did this affect you?
So I was out of work for about 2 months, but I was getting the unemployment, and I went back to work in June. And luckily, we had some PPE because we do work with kids, and we work with kids that have special needs. So not all of them returned, so it reduced the amount of exposure, I guess you can say. And luckily, recently, I don't know, someone donated like crates of PPE, face shields, face masks, even like aprons to put on that are disposable. So yeah, I could say that I'm happy with the company that I'm with because even though they're a small company, they managed to provide things that we needed as far as PPE.
So as far as you being affected, it really didn't affect you much more than you just having to be off for X amount of months between.
Yeah, 2 months.
Okay.
But I was kind of, I like a lot of people, I was getting paid more on unemployment. So that was like the bitter end of that I was getting less money going back to work.
Mhm.
But so I could have, I mean, I know this is very privileged to say because there's a lot of people who weren't able to get unemployment. So I'm happy about that. But I'm glad that I was able to go back to work, even though I was getting more money while I was unemployed.
Yeah, I think that's the case for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And also that's one of the reasons why some in in government don't want to extend the hand further because they feel that some of these people don't even want to come back to work because we're giving them too much money, and that's why they want to lower it.
But that's another issue, right? But
that
that's
is
the
another
issue.
That-
Why
that
are they
is.
getting paid more on unemployment than they are at their job?
Exactly. That's a huge issue. Like
Issue
whoa,
for corporations and companies, or
yeah.
issues for the government?
Well, if we paid people enough,
Yeah.
Right.
they wouldn't have to have this issue.
Yeah.
They would want to go back to work.
Is that a minimum wage thing, or is that like now we're basing it on the decision of who makes that,
that is a
decision?
minimum.
That's a
That's
company's
absolutely
decision.
a minimum wage.
Not only
situation.
that, what about exposure, you guys, with a lot of people that weren't able to collect what is this, hazard pay.
Right.
A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, me being a person that actually caught COVID, I was actually very fortunate that it wasn't bad. I caught it, my kids caught it. We caught it sleeping in our own home, through the ventilation systems,
Whoa,
whatever
really?
the case is. But it wasn't. I mean, I had a roommate in, so there was no air in here,
Okay,
Right.
okay.
and she's long gone. But but I mean, it wasn't like I didn't go out there looking to catch it. I wasn't putting myself at risk. I literally caught it at home.
Right.
But then there's the people that are going out there. I have lots of friends who work like Trader Joe's. They work at Amazon. All the
Oh
delivery
yeah, my
companies
roommates. Yep.
that are being exposed, and they're like the essential workers. And I work for government, but I'm not considered essential, so I get to work from home.
You're essential
But
to
just having
us.
that exposure, like, like I'm gonna go
Shut up,
home
Ray.
to my dad soon, and that like has me kind of a little paranoid, just seeing other family members, because like I don't know how it's like you could have just literally gone outside and caught a breath and got COVID.
Is it
Because
that
that's
bad?
literally how I
Like
got
like
it.
it's all in the air? Is it that bad?
Yeah.
Like you
That is
can
how
just
it
walk outside your
is.
house, Ruth, and then catch COVID.
Shut the fuck up, Keenan.
That's what she just said. She was
No,
worried.
but
Aren't
no,
you guys paying attention?
Of course,
She
you're gonna be
was
worried.
So don't
overseeing
give me
it.
some shit. I'm
No, but
listening
of
and I'm
course-
responding back.
Of course,
Keenan, I think I see some COVID right behind you.
I see COVID's right here.
Haven't you seen the demos yet? Come on.
Hey, what's up, Mavito? Utopia. Hey, what up? No. You're right. So, and with the holidays coming up, families want to get together. So that's an additional risk that people are like trying to consider or be considerate of. And now, like these rules about no more than 3 households together in one in one area for no more than 2 hours at a time. Now, Taco Trap Lord Walter, you may not know you made the regulations on your side because you're in Pittsburgh, right?
So the governor of Pennsylvania just did a lot of things that a lot of the people aren't happy with, and so did the governor of California apparently. And I read an article that the sheriff isn't
Fuck that
enforcing
fool.
policy, which
Yep.
is cool. We'll find out Wednesday. I'll be home Wednesday through Saturday, so what's up? Come see me.
But it is weird. You have to be a little concerned. I mean, we here where I work, we had a couple of people contract COVID, and although like for myself, I work in the office, so I don't work with the people directly outside in the fabrication department, but I have associates who do work with those people, and they do come into the office where I was like, yo, wait, so such and such caught COVID, and he gave it to another person. Now those 2 people got it. Now should I be concerned because I spoke to
Like
one
HPV,
person who had,
bro.
what's that?
It's like HPV.
Yeah,
Don't die,
yeah.
you gonna be-
So now do I have to be concerned? Obviously, I went on Friday. I went and got tested. I got the results this morning. And I was negative, so I'm good. And our company did the right thing and said, well, the holidays are coming up. We're gonna have a half week anyway. Why don't we just cut the whole week? So we just take the whole week off, and maybe whoever has it, that gives them enough time to recuperate. That way we can come back and at least we're not missing too much. So that was cool about the company I work for, that they actually were like considerate of that and said, well, fuck it, it's already the holidays, let's just take the whole time off and just be careful. Now there are other companies who don't do that.
The crazy thing about it was when I got my results back, I also received an email from health department or CDC, I don't know which one it was, saying that 10 days after my first day of symptoms, I was no longer considered infectious. Now, the language in that was so important because it's like, can I no longer considered? They're not owning up to the responsibility of what I actually was at the moment, if whether or not I can pass it to someone or not, but they were pretty much releasing liability of themselves. So after 10 days of your first day of symptoms, you can go and do whatever the hell you want, is what I understood from that email. So the incubation period is what's important also to consider, just because there are people that are asymptomatic, and I know people that had COVID who were asymptomatic. I know others who only lost their taste buds and their sense of smell. For me, I had a mild flu. My daughter, nothing. My son coughed, maybe threw up one night, and that was it. But it lasted us 18 days to clear. So on
Wow.
the 20th day, I got my results, and I was finally clear of COVID. I have a friend who's in the medical field who it took her 6 months. 6 months.
Oh wow.
Holy
to clear.
shit.
So it really is. It's like for me, I think it's more like chickenpox, where when we were little, they stuck us all together. We all got chickenpox. The only thing that's in effect here is the high risk people, where it can affect them differently. Like Like I don't know if you, like I know
Diabetics,
someone who,
asthma,
I
people
have,
with asthma, anybody who has like upper respiratory like illnesses.
yeah. So that's the
Anybody
thing
else
that
in?
we're discussing.
Sorry, Ruth. No, continue. I'm sorry.
No, no, go ahead.
Continue. No, I was just gonna ask if anybody else in this room has caught COVID or knows someone directly connected them to with them who had. But before they do, before you do, Ray, finish what you were saying, Ruth.
I forgot.
Oh, I'm sorry. Damn, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
wow,
That's my
he's
Joe.
fault.
cutting it
My
off.
bad.
Jesus.
Joe.
Wow, he's on the show.
Monopoly.
Yeah.
Ray, hit us.
But unmute
You're
yourself before
muted.
you do it.
You're muted right now. So unmute yourself.
Oh, he's not muted. He has COVID. He's miming it. First
He
word.
said-
First word.
First word.
Is it?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what
Hey.
up? What up? What up?
What's going on? So
Thanks
what
for-
are we talking
thanks
about? I wasn't paying. I was trying to say I wasn't paying attention. What are we talking about?
No, we're
Catching
what the
COVID.
fuck?
Joe wants to know if you got COVID. Or
Then
not.
why'd you raise your
It's
hand?
a very inappropriate question, but
If
he
you
wants
weren't
to
paying
know.
attention, why'd you raise your hand?
Yeah.
Well, I did know. I do have. We had a family member who actually was like a couple of days from being removed off a ventilator. Who,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like we actually like we FaceTime with them because we thought, hey, you know, the doctor pretty much gave him like 3 days.
Wow.
So that was a direct family member of ours, and they made a miraculous recovery. And you know, she was just a person who had underlying health conditions or whatnot, and it just kind of rapidly progressed. But yeah, I have had some direct contact with somebody with that.
Okay.
So this is why I'm glad that I started smoking weed at an early age, because my lungs are fucking strong as hell now.
Right.
I
Me
don't have to
too.
worry about it. Right? Right? Yeah. Thank you.
Now
Wait, weed made your lungs stronger?
Yeah.
go. Who's raising their hand over here? Is that Chris?
Who raised? Yeah. If you raised.
I will say that I've been doing some research myself, and it seems like people in the medical field are
Philly,
also
you have to speak directly into the mic, or else we can't hear you.
like this.
Wow.
So it seems like the medical field is also finding that certain blood types are more likely to catch COVID than others. For example, the O.
This is new information.
Yeah.
It
the
just came
O-type
out.
Blood, yes. The O type blood is less likely to catch it than others, and the B type blood and the A type blood are more than likely to catch it.
Oh shit.
So there's
Fuck.
gonna
So
be more
everyone
shit.
but O.
That's why,
Yeah.
that's why we crib, homie. That's why we crib, cuz.
So that means it almost sounds like we still don't know exactly what this virus is all about. Like we're still discovering more and more about it.
It has a lot to do, if I remember correctly, it has a lot to do with the way the blood platelets come together, and I know that A types,
Yeah,
A-types
go
tend
ahead.
to have a problem with because of the way your diet affects it as well. A lot of food has lectin in it, right? A lot of the things that we eat, like corn, wheat germ, a lot of those things create what's called a lectin, and it sort of imitates
Edibles.
it imitates an enzyme in your body that tells your body this is actually something you're supposed to keep and not excrete. And so what ends up happening is it builds up in your small intestine, starts causing all kinds of underlying conditions in your body. And O types, as long as they don't eat that, tend to be okay. But everyone else generally tends to have a problem. I think A types need to stay away from more animal products like meats and things of that nature. But it's all really interconnected, and it's relatively recently that they're finding this out. So I would look into it myself if I were any of you. Just don't take my word for it, but I did see that. I have been reading on it, and only because I just so happened to have jumped onto this like blood type diet thing. And as I was reading, then I started seeing a bunch of articles saying in the medical field.
I was about to mention that.
Blood type diet? There's
There's a blood type diet based off of your blood type. You're supposed to stay away from certain foods. Like if you're A type, I looked into it actually. It's red meats,
right.
Bananas, even like cucumbers affect you a different way.
Is this new, Ruth? Is this a new study?
No,
this is actually like old folklore, really.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, one of the Greek guys at work actually led me onto it, and I looked into it, and I was just like, oh, that's crazy. No wonder it takes I get stomach pains when I eat a lot of red meat.
Right, because of your blood type.
Right.
I have this idea, man. If you look at the way things are going, Monsanto is one of the worst companies ever out there. They create a lot of this corn and all this stuff that's it's resistant to certain pests and things like that. Well, they also own a large food company. So in my belief, and just me being the way I am, is they're I hate saying this, but I feel like we're being poisoned and then sold the treatment for it because
Yeah.
it's always easier. They make more money
100%.
treating you
Yep.
Right.
versus actually solving the cure.
Yeah,
You know,
thanks
so if
to
you look at those,
capitalist society, courtesy of Joe.
but you yeah, you but you look at the way that we have like 8 billion people on this planet. How do we grow enough food to sustain that? How do we grow enough nutrients? How do we do that without having this?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where we kind of brought it upon ourselves. And I mean, I'm a capitalist at heart, and I will never knock capitalism, but in a way,
I'm with you, pal.
it's a fair for the shop that we go to. You have local farmers. You have all this stuff, but just look at the way things are going. You notice young girls are developing at a lot younger age. Why is that? Where we live, there's a few cases of young boys having testicular cancer. Why is that? There's such an increase in pediatric cancer. There's such an increase in ADHD. There's such an increase in all these things that weren't when you and I were growing up, because we're all roughly the same age.
Right.
If you look at the trend, I feel like it's in our food. I have a strong belief that it's in our food.
Right. Well, how do you get the right food in your system? I mean, unless you grow it yourself, any food you get is going to be from a third party.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like
I mean, for us, luckily for us where we live,
are you like nearby farms
where
or
we
something like
live,
that?
we're able to get stuff from like this. Yeah, well, I mean, dude, I live in rural Pennsylvania, so
Okay,
there's
yeah.
a lot of farms. There's a lot of
Right.
Local farmers. We can get our meat. We can get our meat locally because our family owns a butcher shop, so we get our meat from there. We don't really shop at Walmart.
Right. Well, and this
local
and
businesses as much as possible, but
yeah. And my next question, I mean, is definitely leaning again towards conspiratorial stuff, but like, there's no way of you knowing that your neighbor who owns a farm is going to use legit stuff unless you're there with them feeding those animals and stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, the way the USDA works is you can only say it's organic if it's 95% organic or
Right.
something like that. Some bullshit. There's always red tape around it.
Right, because back to what we are talking about monetization in the very beginning of this episode, there's nobody really. I mean, there's people there that's supposed to monetize to be inspectors.
Monetize?
Fuck you, Joe.
Monitor.
Inspectors of these farms and
Not
these
that
organic companies. But then it's like, it's also possible that, or there is a possibility that inspectors can be bribed or look the other way or something like that, or friend of the family,
Well,
and
yeah, I mean,
there's.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, you got to think about how underpaid these people are,
Right.
how overwhelmed they are.
Right.
But, I mean, of course, things are gonna fall through the cracks like they always do, But like I said, I feel like that's something that's happening, and it's unavoidable,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
For some, it is. Some may feel it's avoidable, but I mean,
Yeah.
the alternative is going plant based or going like vegetarian, vegan. But even that has its own tropes because I mean, like you said, Monsanto creates a lot of these fruits and vegetables. So how do you know that you're completely avoiding stuff like that?
You're right.
For everyone who's just joined, just so you know, when you do come into the room, you do come in muted. So if at any point you do want to speak,
Puppy.
or you have you have an opinion, feel free to unmute yourself.
That puppy's stealing our show. Get him out of here. It's too cute. The puppy's too
Welcome,
cute.
Rube.
I'm
Welcome,
kidding. I'm
Andrew. I
kidding. I'm
didn't get
kidding.
to say hi. So welcome. And if at any point anybody has some input in here, feel free to interject.
Right. So speaking back to my input that you really interrupted me on, Joe.
Eat a choke.
Anyway, moving on.
No, just a quick added element to what
Right.
we were talking about is that also transportation. This is Akshay was talking about this early in the show. Even if it is an organic farm and they're legit and they pass all inspections, they're also not transporting it themselves, or maybe they are, to the actual local community or stores. Like you. This is my point hand. This is my hand to make a point. I'm making a point here.
You
Because
have to do
the thumb. I'm running for Congress. But when you're transporting organic foods, you need to make sure that the truck that's being transported in doesn't have anything that can contaminate the organicness of that food. And then when it gets handled by hand, stuff like that, like even if the source is organic, it may have chemicals rubbed up on it or splattered by accident during the transportation process, and it's not organic
Well,
when
I'll
you
give
get
you.
it.
Here's an example. Look at your apples. Your apples have a really light coating of consumer grade wax on them. If you ever notice, take an apple,
Yeah,
run
yeah, it's crazy. I've seen them on the freeway, on the 5
that
freeway.
hot
You can
water.
just see them floating
Listen,
on the trucks.
yeah. So I mean, everything. Unfortunately, like I
Yummy.
said,
We're losing you, Walt.
everything you really, it's tough.
Yeah,
It's hard to keep things going organic and all natural because I mean, look, I'm on the road.
hmm
I drive 14 hours a day. I try to do that whole what is it? No bread, whatever that diet is called. It's extremely difficult because I'm on the road and not too
Keto.
many places have options like that. So,
gotcha.
I mean,
Okay, yeah.
that's where we're at. It's cheaper.
Keto
It's
diet.
so much
Right.
cheaper to go get food. Yeah. There you go. The keto. It's so much cheaper to go get food somewhere than it is to go get fresh produce.
Oh yeah,
Veggies. I mean, look at the price
100%.
of a water bottle versus a soda.
You know, I used to believe
You
in
know, I mean,
diets, but
it's there for a
You
reason.
still gotten fatter, so it didn't matter.
I was just thinking this earlier. I think it was yesterday. I had an early morning shoot somewhere in West LA. And so I was like, I'm stopped by 7-Eleven and grab something. And as I'm walking into 7-Eleven, I see a lot of people who do construction and like AT&T and whatever else, and they're on the road a lot too. And so I look and I look at all the options and I go and I think to myself, this is the working class of America, and they're
Yeah.
being fed cake basically
Yeah.
for almost every meal because it's the only thing available to them. And I know 7-Eleven's trying to do a good job, but also it's also consumer behavior that determines what products are going to be
Of course.
kept in stock, right? So because it is cheaper, like you said, look at water versus soda, right? Even though soda uses water in it, it's like what I've noticed is that's a perfect opportunity for anyone who can. So people always go, I would start a business if I had the money, right? Well, it's about creating a proposal, finding people who are willing to challenge that market by giving them the numbers and saying, now projections may start slow here, and we might lose money up until this point, the turning point at which sales then can be scaled. And so then it's like, okay, well now we need to look at the way the packers of this product want to develop it and how we can make it affordable so that it can be scaled, right? So then it's like you ask yourself the question, well, how can I create a product that's fiscally sustainable, but also does provide health benefits for the working class that would then change the trend and the demand for those kinds of products so that the price, as demand goes up, price can drop, right? And currently that's not what's happening right now, so no business incentive is there. However, anyone who can create value, yet again, this thinking, can I create the value myself? This is where you apply for the loan if you get your numbers correct, and you can create that, right? So it's like, Philip, well, why don't you do it, right? Hey, good question. Why doesn't anybody do it?
and that's
Good
what I was
question.
saying.
You know, the thing is, look at what Jaden Smith did with that.
We're losing you, Walt.
Only whatever water. Yes, so Jaden Smith made that water was it's in a paper container, right? It's $2.50 for a small amount, where you can get a plastic bottle for $2.50 for like half a gallon or some shit. So I mean, it's there if people want to spend the money on it. Unfortunately, some people will not see the value of spending $2.50 on a
Right.
water that's packaged in paper, even though it's good for the environment. It's all about convenience. We are a hyper consumer, hyper convenience driven society,
Right.
and
How do you think that? How do you
and
think we caused that?
that's led to problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think we became this hyper convenient, hyper easy society?
Anyone?
Through convenience. And,
I really think
and a hyper
Go,
economy.
go ahead, Ruben.
I really think it's the last 100 years of the
convenience and
advertisement agency
Yeah?
industry. The advertising industry has really programmed society to consume certain things and consume certain things in a certain way. And
But
they're really
who?
good
I
at
mean,
it.
who's
And
feeding the advertising industry? It's not the advertising industry saying, "Oh, we're gonna fucking just
Right, it's,
direct people towards that."
Like if you go back, it's the cigarette companies paying big money to
Right.
try different campaigns to get people to buy, and then it was like there was the whole lead industry. People who use lead for paints and different products that were trying to get people to buy this thing. And then you have meat and you have dairy and all these other things. They're paying these other industries are paying the advertising agency industry major money to then get people to buy, and
I can learn to understand you much better if I can get familiar with the way you talk.
I'm sorry to interrupt you guys.
Did you guys hear that? My bad.
No,
Our
they
bad.
didn't. I don't think they did.
Oh,
It goes so much higher because there's lobbyists. There's
Right.
lobbyists and everything, and they're in bed with the government. And this is why I don't believe in this bullshit we're being fed right now with this two-party system. I personally believe that every single politician is a liar and a criminal. They are in
Yes.
bed with somebody. Look at the pharmaceutical company. They are absolutely in bed with pharmaceutical companies. Look what Purdue Pharmaceuticals did over the past 10, 15 years with their painkillers. Look at what, Monsanto has
the new
done.
crack.
There are absolutely lobbyists out there.
It's the new crack.
It is.
Now, it's people like me. I'm a marketer by degree, by trade, by what I do. I'm a marketer. My job is to create a demand for a product. And how do I do that? Is I find what is convenient and I target those individuals based on what their needs are. And it's not hard when it's something that is people need, like water, food, and things like that.
Right.
But it involves so much more because we are ran by corporations. I think there's like 10 corporations that control pretty much every company underneath them. There are 10 conglomerates. So, they are in bed in D.C. And, unfortunately, that's the sad truth of where we're at. We're run by corporations, and that's what created the demands that we have. That's created the culture that we have. Why do we need a new iPhone every year? I don't know.
Because it's fucking pretty, all right? It's fucking pretty.
the iPhone is.
Man.
You're an Android user.
I am an
Yeah,
Android
I don't know
user.
what the fuck you're
Until
talking
I
about.
die.
And I go both ways. if
Hey,
you don't
all
know,
right.
so I do.
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
that.
you do. Yeah, you
You guys are Android
do.
users.
Yeah.
I'm-
Yeah.
Hey, man.
But I guess the question after that is then what can we do to like go against it or stop it or do we create new industries that counteract it and won't those industries kind of get stopped by the big corporations? Like how do you progress when there's a group of oh shit, we just lost the Zoom.
Oh, shit. What happened to
No, I'm
the
still here.
Oh, no, we're still here.
You're still there?
We're still, yeah.
Oh.
Minimize,
Yeah,
minimize.
Oh.
I
Oh,
think
you
the computer
fucking
fell
were
asleep.
you about to put that on my neck?
No, he wasn't.
No,
Oh,
why would I waste perfectly good ice?
I thought
on
they were
your
gonna put ice on my
nasty
body.
ass neck.
like,
What the
give-
No, go ahead.
But the idea is like, what would be a possibility for us to do to go against a lot of these?
It's a generational shift, in my opinion. I think it has to be a generational shift because, and we're all doing it with the movements that we're making, etc. It just also involves our spending. The problem is, as has been established here, there's a convenience that we've become accustomed to, a certain
Right.
a certain
Je ne sais quoi.
quality of life. Yeah, a certain je ne sais quoi. What the French call, I don't know what. There's a quality of life that we've become accustomed to that is going to be really hard to let go of. For example, the hot water boiler in my building has gone down, right? And so the last couple of days I've had to take a cold shower at night. Now I haven't done that since it was used as a degree of discipline for me as a child. But as I sit and I think about it, I go, there are people out here who can't even get the hot water, right?
Or a shower at all, or any water.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's and until we can sit there and demand that this has to change, not just taking a walk out in the street and as a mass army, but then go back and continue to order from Amazon and not pay our homie who makes a graphic design sweater for $80 and it's like, well, I can't keep buying all your sweaters, right? Of course they can't compete with mass production. And that's because mass production continues to get major bailouts from federal aid. And that's how it works, right?
Ray,
Small,
I think
Which
Ray was going
blows
to
my
say
mind,
something.
man.
Ray had his hand raised.
Ray, you were going to say something?
Oh, he's like he doesn't want to get involved.
I think he's super high right now.
Oh shit! How high are you?
Me too, man.
No, I
Me
mean,
too.
it was back to a different point, but Phil kind of took it a little different way. I was just gonna say an interesting point that I've kind of come across recently is if you guys are familiar with the gangster gardener who's by Ron Fitton.
Yeah.
It was an interesting point. I took a class that he offered recently, and he was talking about how there was this stat that proved that I guess planting a community garden lowered local crime by like 42%.
Nice.
Wow.
And that's like literally just like planting some trees and stuff. And honestly, I've since this whole lockdown thing, I planted a ton of like fruits, vegetables. I got like my first harvest of like little what are they, mandarins?
Yeah,
Okay.
man, there's a little
This
tiny one.
weekend,
Weird
you know,
flex,
and I'm
but
not,
okay.
Hashtag no
no, no, no.
flexing.
I'm just saying, like, you guys were saying, what can we do, right?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no, no,
that was my
I'm
question.
fucking
Yeah,
with you.
yeah, yeah.
Go ahead.
That's a honest possible
dope.
scenario
That's dope as
to
fuck.
get to at least go against one big industry, which is the food industry, is growing your own shit in
Yeah.
your own backyard.
Well, yeah, man, because you never know. Like, honestly, like my daughter, she's a heart transplant patient. She's a diabetic, so we recently got like a little bit more stringent upon about everything we put in anything.
Right.
Well, we did a recent keto diet. Like I've actually kind of transitioned to keto diet myself now recently, but I've lost 30 pounds.
Hey,
It was literally like,
congratulations, Ray.
You look a lot thinner.
Yeah, you do. I can
You're
see
a lot
it.
more handsome in the face.
It's a lot of the
Did you
haircut.
get a haircut? Something's different.
Something's with the beard, but I think also Ruben had his hand raised too. Ruben, did you want to say something about like the changes we can make to go against a lot of this stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the biggest things that I'm aware of is the educational system. If we make a big change in the educational system, when we have so little money going there, and if we educate the masses, then that will also help with that shift that you're talking about. I agree with that, but I think that the major problem is just education and awareness and ignorance.
It's funny that you bring this up because one of the politicians I interviewed prior to the election, one of the local, they were running for the LACC board committee college seat, one of the seats that they were giving.
Yeah.
I voted for them.
So here's what I'm assuming everyone here is Democrat, but that doesn't matter. Right?
Nope.
I'm a MAGA supporter.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get at is that what tends to be when it comes to the argument for like we should funnel more money into education is people who are against that will always say there's already so much money, and it's true. But here's the issue, right? The sheriff's company, for example, with LACC has there's a $5 million contract that's annually renewed for funds for LACC to distribute however they see fit, and I believe like 2.5 million of that belongs to a contract with the sheriff company, with the sheriff's department for security. But let me ask you, the last time you saw how many officers are in running around LACC College, right? There might be a cop car parked outside, right? So that's and then there's the other issue is that then there are construction companies who have a bonded contract year after year after year.
We're over here trying to read. No, go ahead, Filthy.
That also take up a huge portion of that, and these are the things that I learned. So when you say where's the money going in education,
right?
That's what we know about colleges. Imagine how bad it is in public education.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there was that documentary Waiting for Superman, right? If anybody saw that, I mean, there's some serious problems in the public education
Andrew,
system.
do you want to comment on anything here? Because I noticed you put something on the chat as far as companies being able to or having restrictions or on regulations or standards, something like that. I just read something like that.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
And I was just commenting because what was his name? The Taco Trap Lord mentioned
Trappiest of the lords, yes.
He mentioned about how pharmaceutical companies are like in bed with all sorts of like stuff. And my girlfriend, she's a medical assistant and she works at a clinic. And she was telling me like for the last couple years, they like, oh, we got free catering from such and such company, or so and so is giving us like the doctor tickets for something. And it was like all these like perks and incentives, and then they would like kind of pitch them. A representative will provide these things, and then pitch them like, oh, by the way, here's our new generic drug for this and this and this.
Hey, the first one's always free.
And if you pitch this, or if you get enough of these, like there's incentives. And just recently, I believe this past year, they actually put into law, and I think it's just state, because I think somebody was in the chat was asking, where there's a restriction not on doing that, but on how much you can do that.
On how many corporate gifts you can give, and
yes,
the limit on gifts and types of gifts. They have to be ran through your HR ethics committee before you accept or give gifts beyond so many dollars.
Yes, there's a dollar limit. And then my girlfriend showed me like she has like this little thing where she keeps all her pens, and they're like all the pens from the different companies that kind of like give like just swag out. They just get out free stuff. So she has like one from like Pfizer, the people who do the the depression ones. You know that commercial with the bouncing gray blob. There's some
Oh,
other
yeah.
ones. That, you remember that, right? Or the
Yeah, I remember that.
Lunessa or
I
whatever
got
the new one is.
I got a bunch from Viagra.
So she, has like all these pens from like just swag that the companies gave out to kind of promote their products. That was all.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I,
Go ahead, Rube.
I just wanted to respond to what Philip said. He said that that there is a lot of money in education. Just in like LACC alone, there's 5 million. But this is what the whole BLM movement has been about: is that if you look at how much money they're giving to the police force just in LA alone compared to education, I mean, if you say $5 million is a lot, but they're giving $3 billion to the police force just in the LA area alone. And if you look at the graph, like I've never seen the graph, and the police budget was like this, and the education budget
Yeah, it was like
this.
Yeah.
So if you were to shift that, it would make a huge difference.
But again, like
man, if you look at things, the government don't want a society of educated people. They really don't. They want people to go and work.
Hey, Kiva, what's up?
You know, I don't want to say ignorant because that's not the right word. Just they don't want them to be as intellectual or as educated.
Well, again,
then it causes problems.
Look at what they just did, and I spoke about this earlier for those of you who weren't on earlier. But the police department did some petty shit where because they got defunded, they eliminated X amount of special programs that they had in place that helped the people. And so because they lost some of their money, they said, well, let's eliminate these programs and fuck the people and show them what's going to happen if they do defund us.
Wow. They're trying to pit us against each other.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And Philly, for reference, Philly, not everyone here is a Democrat. I mean, we have some.
I voted for
liberal.
Trump. I mean, no, I didn't.
We have some liberal
libertarians.
Yeah, there's some libertarians.
Is anyone here a fascist, though?
I'm from the Green Party. I'm a communist.
You're from the
I just
Green
think,
Party?
you know,
Ross Perot, baby.
For life.
What did do, Ross Perot?
It's
You
potato.
need to realize who the enemy is, and you know they're going to try. If you ever read the Art of War, one of the first parts is to divide and conquer is the main way of doing that.
Oh, doing a great job.
You know, you do that by dividing people by race, by economic or socioeconomic standards,
religion,
the haves versus the have-nots, by religion, and unfortunately we forget who the real enemy is. You know, the guys that are sitting on top of everything.
Yep, that 5%.
Rockefeller.
Right,
absolutely.
Right.
Like,
Rothschilds.
I can guarantee.
Chavalish is hopping in here too.
Yeah, none of those people in government, have lived the lives that any of us have probably lived. Maybe one or two of them. That have come from
small
some
amount,
level of
yeah.
poverty or some level of middle class. You know, so now they've reached a certain level where they're out of touch with society. And, you know, it makes me laugh because my in-laws are 60, 70. They're boomers. They're boomers.
Yeah.
And they go, well, you know, when we were growing up, we had this, this, and this. And I said, well, unfortunately, my age, I lost my 401k several times. You know, my student loan makes it extremely difficult to, you know, do certain things. But
I know about
and
that student loans.
Here's the fucked up part. Here's the fucked up part, Walter, regarding that is that the boomers are the ones who fucking did that. They decided that some of these programs are going to be eliminated. And that's what's so fucked up, that we're still being governed by old motherfuckers. We're being governed by old fucks who are not going to live past another 10 years.
Yeah, like Joe Biden.
Ray, Joe's calling you out. You're an old fuck. Who's making decisions.
No. I thought this is the only way I was going to be able to stop the discussion really quick.
Oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead, Ray. That's good method.
No,
if anybody else wants to try that.
I really got to go. It's my daughter's 18th birthday. So
hey, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Philly's going to sing to her later.
Carry on the conversation. I just wanted to say, man, I can't believe you guys are hitting 100 episodes.
100th episode. You are all a part of this.
I love it. I love Beach being added on. I love Philly and his love for everything that is fucking noob. And
we got a T-shirt.
All right.
I made it.
Take it easy, guys. All right.
Thanks, Ray. Love you, man. Thank you for
Love
coming
you,
on
brother.
and joining us. Appreciate you.
I'll see you rocking your new T-shirt.
Yeah.
Bitch, I got you
It
one.
fit me. Stupid
It
ass.
did fit
by the
you.
way-
You're fat.
By the way, you guys want to make sure you pay attention to who won the raffle.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why does
Hey,
one of us win?
You guys want to?
Ray,
it was me, right? It was me, right, Ray? It was me.
Hey, Ray, you want to drop your plug? Oh, he
Oh,
didn't
he
drop his
bounced.
plug. Hey, for those of you who don't know, Ray has a podcast himself. It's called the Leadoff Hitter. It's based on sports. He talks a lot of sports, baseball, basketball, specifically basketball. He's a
Great.
huge Lakers fan. But
Yes.
you know, he gives his unbiased opinion.
Lakers.
See how quickly he just
About
glances over the
basketball.
Lakers? He doesn't like let
Lakers.
it settle.
But
You
yeah,
wouldn't
make
know
sure,
nothing about championships though, so I don't think you should
Shut
be the person talking
But
about this.
yeah, give Ray Ray's podcast a listen. It's called the Lead Off Hitter.
Yes.
It's on
Is it-
Spotify. It's on the streaming services.
Podcast?
I'm sorry. One more time, Alyssa.
Ray's podcast. Ray.
I said, is it more interesting than this podcast?
Wow.
Can we mute
cut
her?
off?
Can we kick
I
her
can
out? What the
absolutely
mic? Cut
mute
her
her.
mic.
I take back my,
You know
my
what?
comment about how she had a better jeans.
You just we're just gonna
You know-
I
close
mean,
the
she was cute,
laptop.
but not that cute. I'm
Back
kidding.
to Keenan's point earlier, where he was saying, "Well, what can we do?"
I
right?
made a
It's
point.
funny.
Yes.
It's funny how often many of us can have these conversations with the people around us, where we know that these things are true. We know that there's corruption. We know that there are injustices, and
We don't do
it's
anything.
just one of the. It's those things where after this episode, we'll probably go get some food.
Order something
We'll
off
probably
Amazon.
Go watch some more news.
Hermanos
and then-
empanadas. What's up?
And then
Oh, yeah.
just continue to say,
Yeah.
well, it's unfair.
I brought
And-
Pizza Hut.
And I think there's Rules for Radicals by Saul D. Alinsky talks about how to radicalize a movement, right? And one of the examples he gives, and I've shared this before, but I'm going to bring it back up again, is he tries to break down the system that Gandhi used, where Mahatma Gandhi was able to mobilize people, right? Because that's the trick, is how do you mobilize people? And he said the reason why Gandhi was so successful had less to do with the nonviolent movement and more to do with the cultural beliefs and values that are already inherent in someone, because it's inertia when it comes to groups, right? And he knew that they would never fight back, his
Right.
people, because they believe in what's called dharma. Nobody wanted to be reincarnated as an ant or a cockroach or whatever you name it. And so he said, you're already nonviolent. I just need you to be nonviolent and say, no, I will not do this.
Right.
But
In
Gandhi was
conjunction.
racist.
I mean,
Besides the point.
yeah, it's his
Besides
message
the point.
that's not racist.
What I'm trying to say is, if we're going to take this opportunity to talk about these things, and
Right.
what have you, then at the very least we should probably activate some kind of campaign where it's not just us, but we start to pull in people together to hashtag a specific thing. This is how social movements are made, right?
Right.
And whether we take to Instagram or Twitter or whatever it is, but all of us work together to campaign something for the greater good, whatever it's going to be, whether it's I'm not corporate or I'm not,
Go
whatever-
ahead,
whatever
Kiva.
it is.
Sorry, Philly.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, Philly. Kiva had a point to your statement.
To
Yep.
that,
Yeah, go ahead.
make the bank pay us back for 2008. I don't know how to phrase that smaller, but that's what the movement is. Make the bank
banks
pay
pay
us
us
back
back.
for 2008.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. The banks can eat a dick for all that.
I mean, they've been
Hey, they
screwing
might
this-
like it.
Oh,
So,
I mean,
I can't. Maybe an asshole.
That's-
No, that's everybody that eats ass.
Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Well,
Everyone should eat ass.
well, I mean,
no,
the-
just
I love
listen to
that.
this. This is what blows my mind.
Okay,
You
go-
know, I
yeah, go ahead.
interrupt You guys. We bail out the bank. We bail out the bank taxpayer money. Okay, and then COVID comes around, and we bail out the banks again. And yet, what the banks are supposed to do is put the loans on the back end of your mortgage loan. So let's say you took 3 months. Well, they'll add 3 months to your loan. No, what they did was apparently they came out and said, "Oh, you didn't pay for 3 months. We need all that right now," which is absolute bullshit. Because if you have a hard time paying 1 month, how are you gonna fucking pay 3 months?
right.
You
And-
know?
Trying to
And
do the same
that
thing.
was
I got
tax-
it.
Right.
that was taxpayer
Right.
money.
And there's nobody
Yeah.
to tell the banks, no, you can't do that, or if you do that, we're going to arrest you or something. Like, you're just getting a free pass. Like, there's nobody
Okay.
that's out there that says, if they do that, and we see that, which they did, you're all going to be shut down. Like, there's no cancel culture for the banks.
Why don't we
Banks
say
have
hashtag bail me out? Something, like the marketers can come together. You're like hashtag bail me out, and then we all hold a picture or like a sign, and we try to get as many people involved in the hashtag
then we burn
bail
down
me
all
out
the
so that
banks.
we raise awareness.
And then-
for it.
I don't
then we
mind.
burn
I mean,
down
if
all
we
the
burn
banks.
the banks down, I have to take some money out before we do, because I owe a lot of money in my student loans.
You can,
Everyone
you,
that I have said this since COVID started
Welcome,
in the
Chris.
last I have said this to several people
Right.
at all sorts of different levels of life, and every single person says, "Yeah, but that's never going to happen." I'm like, it's never going to happen because you're not going to repeat it.
Mentality.
Facts.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell the next person.
Right.
You're going to say, "Yeah, that's a really cool idea." And that girl had, but she's just one person, and that's never going to happen. And so,
Yep. It never. Yep. It doesn't work until it affects them personally. Then they want to
Mhm.
do something and go out, and then it's too late by then.
So
but it does affect them personally.
That's why I
It
keep
does.
cash.
Right now, whether you are a renter or a homeowner, if you are a renter, then you owe rent to somebody who owes a mortgage to somebody.
Right, and
here's
so on and
something-
so forth.
Yeah, here's something that blows my mind. So California recently on their ballot, on our ballot, we had a rent control.
Yeah.
I saw
we,
that.
We had a rent control measure, and it didn't fucking pass.
Nope.
I voted for it.
Like, I don't understand.
That's because most people.
It's all the
California-
homeowners.
Oh yeah, it's all the homeowners.
Or
Yeah,
people
but-
don't understand the wording on it is not 100% clear either.
Homeowners, property owners.
Right.
For
Right.
people who think about being homeowners, property owners, who are thinking about
Right.
their future home
Right.
and what that might mean for their future selves, but not realizing how much that's keeping them from even getting to that goal.
And
in the
again,
first
this
place.
goes back to what you're saying about it's just one person saying one thing, but if you look at something like that where the people could have made a difference and said, "Hey, for those who aren't homeowners and are renters, your rent is fucking high. It's high as fuck." Like I'm fortunate enough to not pay a lot where I'm at because I've been here for a long time. But for those the people who are coming and live in the same building that I'm living in are paying at least almost 2/3 more than what I pay right now, and that's
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous.
Right.
And I know for sure there are more renters than there are homeowners in LA County.
Oh yeah.
But doesn't
So
that-
the fact that these people didn't go out and vote for something so important as controlling rent is fucking ridiculous to me. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear it from anyone saying, "Oh, our rent is too high," or "Rent is too high in LA." It's crazy high in LA.
'Cause you didn't vote
Fuck
for that
you.
shit. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up because you didn't do anything about it.
Right.
See,
Right.
you
But
guys-
Joe's the problem with Joe though is that I would think that the cause of these renters and the high costs is because of capitalism, right? I would think that because
It isn't.
No.
because-
Fuck you.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
because the
It
idea.
was a slap, not a high five.
Jam,
Oh,
jam.
sorry. I thought
Real
you were
quick,
saying-
real quick, because we're also streaming this on IG. For the IG viewers, if you want to be part of this conversation, I know some of you are leaving comments and stuff, but if you want to be part of this conversation, hop on over to Zoom, and the Zoom meeting ID is 213-835-8270.
Because they're too far away. We
Yeah.
can't. We can't
Oh,
reach.
the
them
can't
right
read what you guys are
on the
what you guys
phone.
are
Yeah.
commenting on. So
Right.
if you're
Y'all talk
on
some shit,
on
dude.
IG watching us, make sure to hop on over to Zoom, and then you'll be able to say your piece. We have a good
Like
amount
the
of people in
90s.
here. It's fucking phenomenal.
Right.
And the conversation is only getting better and better.
Right.
You were gonna say something?
Just a heads up though, on the Instagram, you cannot hear anybody from the Zoom call.
Right. That's what
That's
I'm.
right,
That's why
yeah.
I'm saying
Yeah.
everybody should come into the Zoom because you can't hear
Right.
them off of IG.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
Let's get
appreciate
it.
you guys
Yeah.
coming into the IG, but make sure to hop on over to the Zoom
All
if you
four
want to
people.
comment on it. Hey, at least they're in there. At least they're in there. All right.
I'm one of
Right.
them.
Oh, you are. You're saying
Oh, then you know what the fuck they're saying.
But the idea was that the concept of even like buy low, sell high. Like the idea is that if you're owning a business, the idea is to make money, collect money, and the homeowners or landlords and stuff. It's all about business and making a profit. So it's just natural that they're going to charge as high as they can to get somebody in there to pay that amount of money. Same thing that you recommend for my business and stuff like that. Like, as much as people are frustrated and you yourself are frustrated, we have this baseline of, again, our whole title is money and making money. Like if you're, may sound like a full-on attack to you, Joe, but if you're upset about the price and cost, but you still have
not.
this ability of like, well, if you own it, you can charge as much as you want if somebody's willing to pay for it. Like it sounds counterintuitive, but if you're not, then then fuck whatever I was saying. But
yeah, fuck what
oh,
you
fuck
were
you,
saying.
Yeah,
fuck you.
next.
I was gonna say.
There's a book called Anti-Fragile by Nassim Taleb that I recommend everyone gets a chance to, whether it's audiobook or whatever.
Post it in the link below, Philly, for us.
Repeat that name, Filthy.
It's called Anti-Fragile by Nassim Taleb. But essentially, what it is speaking to the point of capitalism and all that. There is an argument to be made, right? Because people who generally tend to come, not you per se, but this is a perfect example. Employees tend to go, well, why am I making my boss rich, right? What's the point of that? And then the boss, if it's a smaller company, will argue, well, I'm the one bearing all the risk, so I should be rewarded some form of profit, right? So how do you argue the case for profit? Because that's the burden of proof, right? Well, capitalism, I should be able to profit off what I'm doing. True. If you're the one bringing the value, whether it's it depends on how you capture value, right? Is it quality? Is it convenience? Is it a unique service, right? So it depends on how it is you decided to capture value and bring it and offer it to the world, right? So by that extent, if you're the one bearing the highest risk by fronting most of the money and supplying the team with a salary, you should you should logically conclude that they should be able to get a bigger piece of the pie, right? Now, the problem comes when you have a billionaire class that is getting more than what is reasonable for profit. So the thing is, how do you make a case for reasonable profit?
That's my question to Joe and Deech. Well, if
Well,
Deech
the
believes
thing
in
is-
capitalism, but mainly for Joe. Oh, you do?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, so both of them.
Go ahead,
we all strive as entrepreneurs to reach a certain level of comfort and reach a certain level of economic success. When you come from nothing, you go up there and then you get brainwashed to how much is much or how much is enough. The answer is it's never enough. I've met extremely wealthy individuals where it's never enough. To the point of this is you can make so much money from your business, and the people that find success and are savvy investors, they're not just banking off of the money that their business makes. They have real estate. They have their 401ks. I'm sorry. They have their stock market accounts. They have all these different things. So they have multiple streams of revenue. So it's not just based off of how am I going to exploit my workers for more money? Because I think we treat our people extremely well. We give them bonuses. We've done things that the owner didn't do for 30 years. We have some of the same staff, and they are extremely happy because we've given them pay raises, we've given them bonuses, we've given them a more satisfied place to work, and I feel that has helped gain more success on our end. And then with the profits we make from that, we then turn buy real estate and generate more revenue from another income stream. So I mean, I'm a capitalist, and I love money, but I also don't put money over people because I feel
and
that
you can't do that.
So is that the limit for you? Is that the limit for all of you who are admitting to be capitalists? Like there is, for an example, there is kind of a cap. Like if Joe's apartment was being charged $10,000, you guys are like, okay, now we're at a limit where this is kind of ridiculous for, a human.
That's a
I'm getting,
high number.
It's a
No,
high number.
but
An
I understand.
example.
I understand.
That's
No,
where I'm going.
I do understand.
Like for what you were saying, being a capitalist, and you two, like he said, is there a limit that you should have as capitalists when it comes to like making profit and money
Human
from
decency,
humans?
maybe human decency.
Well, I mean, I don't know what that would be. I'm just
there
curious.
are other things that drive the housing market in cities like Los Angeles, Miami, Chicago, New York, in these high populated areas. There's other things that drive that. I mean, dude, I live outside of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is booming right now with technology, and of course, in the city of Pittsburgh and the little 5 miles outskirt of it, I mean, you're seeing inflation and you're seeing all these new sky rises go up and all these condos and all that BS. And that's what's driving more people there. What coronavirus has exposed, since people can work from home now, people are moving away from that. I left Los Angeles like 15 years ago, and as much as I love going back home, and I'll be home this week, I
Holler at me.
hate it there.
Hey.
I will
Oh,
not
yeah.
go there because it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
way too expensive. I
Right.
love the city I'm from.
But is that is that a fair thing or a bad thing? Or like my perception of a capitalist is like that's okay. But you're saying that it's too expensive. Like it feels like it goes against what the fundamentalist of a capitalist is. Like if you say it's too expensive, I feel like that goes against what your beliefs are.
No, because that's just the way it is. Like,
Well,
like for example, Walt left.
Right.
Because it was too expensive.
Right.
So he left and he adjusted to what he was more comfortable
But
with.
but you still understand like that's okay. Like it's acceptable
It's
because it's like they're making
okay.
yeah.
Because if it's over what you can afford, then of course you're not gonna do it.
Okay.
Well, and you got to think about it. There's other reasons why people leave. Someone made a comment about people moving to Texas. Well, why are people moving to Texas? If you want to start a business, Texas does not charge you taxes.
Right.
Texas is great for that. Delaware is great for that. So you got to look at things in that nature. You got to look at what state is going to give you the best return of the investment, either on property, on your real estate, on your workforce. You got to look at those things.
Okay.
Every time I hear Pittsburgh, for my gamers, I think of the pit from Fallout. I don't know.
Oh my god!
I just think of the
fuck?
undefeated
If
NFL
anybody's
team.
if anybody's ever played Fallout, the game Fallout, they know the pit because you go there.
Oh jeez.
It's I don't know.
We need
just,
at least
it's just
one,
a gamer in me.
We
Fuck
need
you guys.
we need one video game reference in our show.
I needed to do it. I needed to drop it.
Minimum.
The pit. Fallout 4. Holler.
Because we haven't
Fallout
said,
3 actually.
Pittsburgh is a very strange city. I will tell you that much. It's not big at all. It's probably like Century City and Westwood put together.
Really?
That's about as big as it is.
It looks
It's
bigger
not
in Hollywood.
The pit.
It's not. It's not.
Wow.
And then there's different boroughs of Pittsburgh. So whenever someone says I'm from, Fox Chapel, well, no one knows what that is. So you just say Pittsburgh.
Okay.
It's relative, but it's interesting to see the change. When I first moved here, almost 11 years ago, there wasn't shit to do. There wasn't any kind of food. There wasn't anything. And over the past 10 years, there's a lot more restaurants. There's a lot more Latino influence in certain areas. There's more cultural things to do. Comedy is blowing up. There's food trucks now.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, and it's great to see that, and it's going to hit that point where it's going to hit that saturation point, kind of like LA did. And from what I was told from someone in LA that owns property, is the reason that they jack the rent up is because that they know there's multiple people, multiple families living in those units or houses or whatever the case might be. So it's not just one family paying $2,000; it's like 2 or 3 families.
I mean,
I've been told. I don't know.
I know. Like,
I don't know.
there are a couple of people who live in my building who I don't want to say they have multi-families, but they're definitely like 2, 3, 4 roommates living in one place. So I can understand that,
when
but
you do that, again, that shouldn't be a factor to it.
it shouldn't be a factor.
But I guess LA is just LA. I mean, anytime anyone tells me, "Oh, why'd you leave Los Angeles?" Well, I'm like, have you seen the cost of living? I don't want to pay $5 for gas.
Hey, pal, at least it's not the valley. Am I right? Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's a shot at. I just got it, Ruben. My bad. I just figured it out.
Sherman Oaks.
Valley.
But Los Angeles is a city of opportunity, and a lot of people come here specifically by themselves to pursue what they want to do, and so that's what forces people to get 2, 3, 4, 5 roommates for a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment.
Of course,
Actually, it's different. It's different because I'm assuming we've all grown up in Los Angeles.
For the most part,
born
yeah.
and raised in LA.
Yeah.
For the most part,
San
right? So
Francisco.
that's it's similar. So I mean,
yeah.
You're cutting.
Whenever I went to Los Angeles last time, everyone's like, "Oh." Whenever I went there, and people ask me like where I'm from or where they're from, most of them, the Midwest, whatever, they were transplants to Los Angeles.
Right.
And meanwhile, I'm sitting there like, man, like I was born here, and this is it,
I'm just a confused person.
But, I mean,
go ahead. Hello?
No, go ahead, Keen.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just saying. I'm still kind of confused myself. Where if you do see something that's where you go, that's a ridiculous price. You don't go, that's that's what it is. Good for them. So I mean, I can't afford it, but oh well, move on. But
yeah,
to be like, oh, that is not Like you both aren't going. That's not right. You both are okay with the high price. I mean, you're not okay because you moved out because of high prices, but
again, he's like, yo,
you're
I
still
couldn't be part of that.
right. But you're still like it is what it is, right? Because if Pittsburgh did the same thing,
but
go ahead.
In my mind, I go this. I go, okay, I see the saturation happening in Pittsburgh, and I go, why didn't I buy prop?
Right. Yeah, because you could do the same thing. You could be one of those people in Los Angeles that are charging high prices now in Pittsburgh. So you eventually become the people that you moved away from.
I guarantee you there's people that own property that don't even live in Los Angeles.
Right,
Are
right.
just saying, oh, this is what they're charging now? Okay, boom.
Right.
Rent increase.
And that's totally okay, right? In your guys' eyes.
Why wouldn't it be, Keenan?
I don't know. I'm trying to get to that whole moral point that you said of human decency. Like, where is that line being drawn?
It's a thin line.
I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's okay.
Okay.
It's going to happen.
Okay. You're just saying human nature is just naturally going to happen.
I work for a corporation that every December, the prices of the product goes up 3%.
Okay.
December, hands down. They are already one of the highest, the most expensive products for their.
We're losing you, bud. We're losing you, bud.
Okay.
All we hear is that.
No.
No.
You got to get that Comcast from Los Angeles, bring it out to Pittsburgh.
He's like, I have fucking infinity. Go ahead.
Say that
Kiva,
again.
Go ahead, Kiva.
Oh, cute.
So you keep asking a question that you can't get an answer from them because they are capitalists. And if you are a capitalist, then you are okay with the natural rise in price in certain things, and it'll take quite a bit. It'll take until they feel themselves to be uncomfortable before they're like, "Oh shit, I got to do something about it." And that's the difference between between actually being a capitalist and being a socialist. A capitalist is a person, and you might not be, but the capitalism as an idea is something that puts productivity before people in the first place. So if you're claiming to be a capitalist, of course, no one is all the way. People are all the way one way and all the way the other way. So
I do believe in the advancement of our society by capitalistic means. Of course, I want us to progress and become bigger and become stronger. Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's not the only way to do that.
I think
it's shrinking us. It's actually shrinking us. I look like I'm doing all right to most people, but honestly, I live in poverty. I've just made certain choices so that my life doesn't fucking suck while living in poverty. And I shouldn't have to make those sort of choices. I should be able to have affordable health care. I should be able to have like I don't pay for my health care. I would like to be able to pay what I can afford. But the only option for me is to pay $450 a month or more because of the size of my family. And I can't afford that. So I'm on Medi-Cal. I would gladly say, hey, I'll pay $100 a month just to pay something because that's what I can, but there's no option for me to do that. And that's because this capitalist society also depends, our capitalist society also depends on a particular type of scapegoat to continue to make people stay on this fucking hamster wheel.
But I don't think that's I think that's more to blame with the individuals who are currently running our government as opposed because and I said this earlier that boomers have made these decisions for us without us being able to make those decisions. I don't think that has to do with capitalism so much with the individuals who have made these decisions for us as opposed to allowing us to make these decisions. And it's partially due to the fact that us the younger generations not wanting to make those decisions or even wanting to go out and vote because the majority of prior to Obama, people our age didn't even care about voting. It wasn't until we started seeing it affect us more and more where we were like, now 10 years later, we're like, oh shit, well now we kind of have to take it upon ourselves to make these decisions, because the people up are only the individuals who are older than us, the boomers, who are actually sitting in that Senate seat, who are the lawmakers, quote unquote. Those are the ones that are making these decisions. And now we're like, yo, wait a minute, we have to vote for people who are going to be in our best interest. And that has nothing to do with capitalism. That has to do with the people in power.
If people started to truly vote in their actual true best interest, and let me tell you, there is so much evidence that shows how many people do not vote in their own self-interest, we would be a far more socialist-leaning society.
And not a capitalist one?
Yeah, if people would vote within their actual interest, not their perceived interest, not the white American dream that people.
Yeah, let's bring white people in this element, because we have to.
Not the illusions of
Are there any white people in here?
No.
Because
Philly, you're white.
That's a good thing, Kiva, because we have to include that a lot of this misdoing are from old white people.
The white.
Like what Joe's talking about, those boomers, those are old white people that are doing that stuff.
Absolutely. And it's our own fault. It's our own fault for not voting, though. It took us this long to finally say, yo, our vote matters. What happened to Rock the Vote? What happened to all these other movements that happened? From the NTV.
They're just being drowned out by other shit. They're being drowned out by Cardi B. They're being drowned out
by that wet ass pussy. I get it.
And cats.
You said cats?
I love cats.
Yeah.
Cats are taking over the world.
My youngest daughter her little sense of humor is great. She pulls out a comic. She reads the funnies, which is like the gateway to being a journalism nerd.
Yeah.
Reading the comics if you're your Sunday comics.
She's right behind you, by the way.
Hi.
No, not That's Delaney.
Oh shit!
Hey, what's up, Delaney?
She looks so tiny.
She's way there on the other side of the
Yeah.
kitchen. Anne.
Oh, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Hey.
So Sage pulls out this comic and she gives it to me because she finds it funny. It's like a mouse and some other, and I'm maybe a person, I don't know. It's two characters, and one character is browsing the internet, and the other character is like all of the knowledge that we have literally at your fingertips, and you are choosing it to watch cat videos. And
right.
in my 10
goddamn right.
Hilarious.
This is American.
I'm like, yes, I'm doing my job.
Right.
As a mom.
Yeah.
Like we have, so yes, by cat videos. Like it is a lot our fault for not voting, but how often do we have people allow the rhetoric of, oh, your vote doesn't count, all that fucking bullshit that
all the
comes
time,
up.
but we can't be sheep and say, oh well, yeah, they're trying to repress our vote.
But that's you as an individual. There's probably people, in these corporations that obviously want us to be sheep and will do anything they can to make us sheep.
That's true.
It's probably because, and I'm putting this back in there, it's probably because they also have a strong capitalist society mind thing in their head, and they have the money and the resource to back up their ideals and push that
I think
methodology
there's a
further.
difference between greed and capitalism.
Well, see, that's
I
the thing.
I don't
people
believe
blend
they have
that?
to go hand in hand.
When you hear capitalism, a lot of the ideas that people think, well, because you're in it. But if you're not in it, and the people that I talk to, are not in it, feel that when you hear the term or word capitalist, they go greed right after that. Billionaires, millionaires, and that's all they see. They don't see you as a capitalist or you. They see fucking Bill Gates and who's the guy from Amazon?
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. They see
that. You're pointing a finger. You don't even know what the fuck you're pointing at.
I'm just saying that's what they see.
If you want to take the world, everybody absolutely stop buying from Amazon right now.
I can't do that.
That's impossible.
I get my materials from Amazon for my business.
I'm
If
sorry.
everyone just stopped and like called that mom and pop store instead, or not even just like a bigger corporate thing.
I should
Just
start my own lighting business.
Hey, Andrew, you're a libertarian.
I'm not a libertarian.
That's
Oh no, I know
Andrew.
Andrew's a
that's the thing
libertarian.
with capitalism,
my
though,
cousin
right? That's
Andrew-
also the
Go ahead,
that's
Philly.
the thing with capitalism, right? Is that it's not just I want to make as much money as possible from what I'm selling. It's also I want to pay as little as possible.
Exactly.
For what I'm
Buy
buying.
low, sell high. Exactly.
Yep.
You're right.
That's also the other problem.
Realizing that like Amazon isn't even in the business of the shit that you're buying from them. They are in the business of getting your information and selling ads, and so they're just making money off of that and totally fucking the little guy who is actually selling the product.
Right.
I used to work for a company that's exclusively sold through Amazon. Now, to their own detriment, when they try to sell from their website so they can actually make a profit, because Amazon has gradually increased the amount of royalty it expects in return for being able to sell. And the truth is, that era of somebody being able to make a living off having a business on Amazon is becoming increasingly less available to people. And Amazon is continually making more and more money and not having any problem at all, because that's the place where the problem in business, right? It's like, how do I get customers? Amazon says we have all the customers. All you have to do is sell your stuff.
Well,
and they go there, but that's
speaking of, but I mean, like, what about the women's fashion industry or just fashion in general for selling product? I mean, can we do what you do for like a local business door to door, or is Amazon like the best go to for increasing revenue?
I know a lot of companies do sell on Amazon, aside from having their own retail site or their wholesale like website. But I don't. I mean, a lot of the people that we work with are boutiques, so
Right.
they're not really.
Oh, okay. I was saying, like, I don't know how long you were in it, but like before Amazon, like what was the industry doing? Like, did Amazon really increase the business, or did it just?
It helped them expand their business, but
Right.
a lot of them, have brick and mortars or
Right,
used
right.
to. I mean, maybe not so much now, but
Because could
I
Amazon
know,
be seen?
I know a lot of people, a lot of places have closed due
yeah,
to COVID.
yeah,
Right.
man, a lot of them.
Because I was curious if Amazon could also be seen as a possibility of something that actually helped
Yeah,
businesses
of
and or
businesses.
help America or stuff like that. But I mean, there were other Amazons before Amazon, right? Does anybody know?
No, there weren't.
There
Keenan,
weren't.
That's the thing.
Well, okay. Well, fuck you.
But not on the scale that Amazon exists. Amazon is truly unique in its nature as far as being a pioneer of being able to buy and sell online. I mean, there was eBay, but eBay
And Craigslist.
eBay is definitely a lot more person to person,
Right, than a
individual
company.
to individual,
Yeah.
as opposed to we know that let's say we know that Kellogg's can sell all their cereals on Amazon, and you could buy their cereals on Amazon.
Right.
As opposed to this limited edition Crunch or Travis Scott Reese's peanut butter cereal that you can purchase for X amount of dollars. That's more driven towards an eBay as opposed to an Amazon.
Okay.
It's not going to be as easily accessible on Amazon,
Right.
Because they're more on general like things that you could just go purchase just because, some forks, some hand sanitizer, a random ass toy like a Jurassic Park toy, or
Right.
getting your mouse or something. Where eBay is more driven to a specific,
Right.
more limited edition or
Specialized
tailored
items,
to
yeah.
exactly what you need.
Interesting. I didn't know Amazon was like the first and only. I thought it was like how you look at Facebook was
Ooh,
not.
we just
There was
had-
like a
Gotta go.
Friendster. Oh, bye, Philly.
Filthy Animal,
Bye,
thank you so much for
Philly.
joining us.
Good to see
Filthy,
you.
for any
Hey.
of you who
The Blueprint.
the
by
Blueprint,
Philly.
the Blueprint Project by
It's on
Filthy.
Spotify,
It's
iTunes,
on
all that.
on all your streaming services.
Yes.
You can find them at Philip Lanos
Gang
or
signs?
at the what's your at for your pod, Filthy?
at Poppy Chulo 22.
Okay, that's it. All right.
Wow.
Yes.
No, I'll
Hey,
throw
Not
it out
pretentious
here.
at all.
At
Hashtag no
Philip
flex.
with two L's. At Philip with two L's. That's PhillipLanos.
Hey. Get it,
Somebody-
Philly.
Comment here. I'm trying
job,
to see
Philly.
who that was.
Well, why
It's
Joe
like-
shows his crotch to the camera.
I'm not showing my
He's
crotch.
not showing
Basically, I was
his
just
I'm trying to read
just
what-
look
But
at the
I
little-
can.
Hey, get it, Deesh.
Hey.
Hey. No, I thought the same thing with any major business, like things like Google and Facebook. There were elements, lower level elements that came out before them, and then they were just the ones to capitalize on that phenomenon and make it expand. But there was nothing like that for Amazon at all. Wow.
Not competitive like
Yeah,
that. I mean, there's overstock, but it's
And that didn't came out before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's so
I
interesting.
can't say that there is anything like that.
So they technically cornered their own market. They created a market and cornered it, and now nobody else.
Oh, it looks like Ruben's gonna.
There's
say
a company called Wayfair that is also on the rise. Wayfair is supposed to be a kind of cheaper Amazon.
Oh, okay.
But
oh,
I think
Alibaba,
Their stock is
right?
actually increasing rapidly. too.
Alibaba for sure.
Alibaba, yeah. But was that around before Amazon or no? Okay. Okay.
But wait.
Alibaba helps serve the Shopify community.
Gotcha.
Isn't it Wayfair where you can buy little kids?
You want to explain on that, Ruben?
I doubt that.
I don't know.
Pizzagate.
I just know about it from the
Pizzagate.
stock market. I don't really know about it.
Gotcha. How is
from-
the stock
from the
market doing?
capitalism
I mean, was the stock market, did it like plummet during COVID, or did it like go way up?
No, so in the beginning, the stock market took a huge dive
Right.
because there was a lot of fear that it was going to affect the next quarter of earnings. But because of all of the incentives from the government, all of the assistance financially, there's actually more spending. So the quarters are actually better and better. So the stock market then accelerated.
Wow.
The online sector totally took off. Zoom, Wayfair, Chewy, which is like a pet food company.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So it was going hard like this. If you look at the graph from the last year, everything was going like this.
Wow.
And then in September and into October, there was a historical
huge
dip that always
dive, yeah.
happens.
Wow.
Yeah, but then once it showed strength that Biden was going to win, the stock market took off again, and right now everything is just going.
Especially
up.
Sony, right, with their
Up and up.
PlayStation
Look at
5s. Jesus.
Exactly, and Andrew showing us.
Oh, that's a picture of it. Oh shit! Wow,
yeah,
dude.
It's dipping exponentially. I wish I
Can you
that's
show it
my-
again one more time, real quick?
Well, that's my Robinhood account. So like you can see.
Wow.
Cause I own a couple of shares and stocks in like various companies and stuff. But like right here, the dip right there is like right about March.
Oh shit! That's when it hit big.
You had something to
Oh,
say,
no, I'm
Kiva?
sorry. It was February 18th, and then right at the bottom is like right about early March.
Wow.
March.
Oh, that is a major dive.
That is a
So
huge
they
dive.
dive.
Crazy.
Right in the middle of that dive is about when we started doing the whole quarantine stuff. Right around there.
Wow.
Kiva, you were gonna
Do
say
you have
something?
a lot of S&P and Dow stock in your
No,
portfolio?
We are not a stock market
I mostly
podcast.
have-
Just
There
like,
it
no,
is.
I'm just kidding.
There it is.
I mostly go for stuff that's like dividends and like ETFs and like REITs
Nice.
and stuff like that.
Okay.
Kiva, you were gonna say something?
Two things.
Yes.
Now that he's done grafting, like, can we get help? Can we arrange some tips? Because I have a little bit of money that I'd like to have do something, but like I opened an Ameritrade account, but I don't want to invest in there's a lot of shit that I'm like, no, I'm not giving them my money.
Okay.
So, so tips there would be great. And then also, I've been hardcore momming since I was on, but I wanted to be on for your 100th episode.
Yeah. Oh, boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
Cooking while I was on. here
that's
with
okay.
y'all.
Appreciate you,
That's
Kiva.
okay. The two quick tips from our two stock market investors. You got something for Kiva?
Yeah, I would say invest your money in the Dow. The Dow is composed of the highest earning companies in the stock market. Those
And
have
S&P
the
as
biggest float. S&P is also, but so the Dow has only 30 companies, while the S&P has 500 companies. So the Dow consists of is a much higher earning companies.
What three companies?
Sorry?
What three companies?
Oh, well, there's a bunch of them. Disney's really good. Disney, Home Depot, Nike is on there, I believe. Visa, MasterCard are not necessarily on the Dow, but I would say those as well.
You said there were only three, as if the Dow only has three
No,
companies.
the Dow has 30 companies.
Oh, 30. Okay.
Yeah, 30. But the Dow is better to invest in because They all have a dividend, which means for every share you own, they will pay you money on top of it rising, or however it's moving. Two, it has the float is bigger, meaning there are more shares on the stock market, meaning it's more stable. So if you look at his graph took a major dive. The companies that he invested in didn't have as big of a floats, so that they were more affected by what was going on there. So the Dow is a lot more stable. It'll move a lot less. And then third, gradually, historically, they all just go upwards over time. So
nice.
Dow, that was the way to go.
Dow.
So look into some of the companies that are in the Dow. There's about 30 of them. And then whichever ones that look appealing to you are the ones that you should dive into.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I'm handsome.
You don't need
so
a ton. Just slowly increase your positions on a company. Like for example, buy Disney where it's at, and then every time it moves $5 or $10, buy another share. That way, you're continuing to compound your investment.
We have we have a viewer who just came in. They're Zoom user, but I have no idea who the hell this is. Zoom user.
Welcome, Zoom user.
Show your
face.
Who are you?
Show your face.
I just want to know who you are.
It's
Zoom
like the
user.
Masked Singer. Sing something and we'll guess who you are.
I'll guess who you are. No, I know that's you,
Hey!
Rick. I know that's you, Rick.
That was the Zoom user.
Oh, that's you?
That's the Zoom
Oh,
user.
because it said iPhone earlier. I saw you earlier. Okay, Zoom user.
Oh my
Hey.
God.
I love you, I miss y'all.
What's that?
I'm gonna go. I said I love you, I miss y'all. I'm gonna
Kiva,
go see
thank
my
you for
family.
coming
Hey,
on. We
Kiva.
love you. Thank you for
I
coming
gotta
on.
hang out with you in Long Beach, and I'll be with the mask and everything. I got a car.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Your car is fixed?
Well, it's going to be fixed. The mechanics let me borrow his car till mine's fixed. So
Oh, lovely.
yeah.
Awesome. Come on.
All right.
She said, come to me.
Oh my
child.
God, Joe. Okay.
Come to me, my baby.
I'm cooking for Thanksgiving again, and
Oh, you're doing that? Are you doing that? Okay. Okay.
I do every year, and you, of course, Keenan, are invited. Joe,
Hey,
Thank you,
not
sugar.
Joe. Fuck Joe.
I gotta do family stuff. Hey.
Yeah.
Love you, Kiva. Thank you for
Yeah.
hopping on with us. Kiva, you want to hit us with your at?
Huh?
You're at your.
You want to hit us with your ad, your
Yeah,
socials,
star.
Your handle.
your
Sheila Star.
socials, your socials.
It's Sheila.star with 2 R's, Siani. But if you get this Sheila.star with 2 R's, I'll be the first person to pop up. Or SheilaStarSiani.com.
So where does the Kiva come from?
Kiva,
I am Sheila, but that is the version of me that takes my clothes off on stage.
Ooh.
Oh.
there you
Okay.
go. Out there.
Or
publicly.
hashtag the naked politician, because I'm going to
The naked politician. All
Yeah.
right.
Where's that at?
I mean, look at it right now.
We gotta say your link again for the.
I know how to get votes, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm there.
Hey, you got a customer.
We love you, Kiva. Thank you for hopping on with us.
Congratulations.
All right.
Wait, so for these holidays, this Thanksgiving season, they
Yep.
said that you shouldn't have more than 6 people.
They said you
Uh-huh.
shouldn't have more than 3 households. And
Yeah.
I imagine that's
15.
a mother, a father, and two
Two
children.
Okay, so
So you're probably about 12.
12. Okay, but you can have about 30 people at a funeral. So this Thanksgiving, I will be having a funeral for my dead turkey pet.
Oh, I
That's
saw
right.
that. I saw that.
You
video.
guys can bring sides in lieu of flowers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sides.
What kind of bullshit is that?
It's silly.
Anybody have any comments on that?
Yeah, who's gonna have a
What the
Thanksgiving
fuck?
dinner with 20 people? I don't even have a family with like that for Thanksgiving. It's
You
like
come
5,
to
6.
us.
I can come to you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll come on.
Ruben,
you.
go ahead. You were
Bro.
going to say something?
Oh, come on, you.
I'm just gonna say I was going up to my mom's house, and she's in the medical field, so she's been very paranoid and cautious when it comes to being around people, and so I've been isolating and kind of quarantining myself leading up to it and getting tested, so I can go up there and without her tripping out.
Okay.
So I haven't
So-
seen her
so-
all of quarantine except for I saw her the day after Halloween,
Mm.
and we just for it was for a couple of hours, and we could not be close.
And she lives in the Bay, right?
Yeah, North Bay.
Okay.
So you're going to
Okay.
be going up to the Bay.
Yes, that's what that means, Joe.
Shut up, Keenan.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fucking
Anybody
Joe's
else
piece
have Thanksgiving plans or have any insight on what the fuck Thanksgiving? What's going on with the world?
It all began back in 1493.
of- Oh God.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Yeah.
How are you? How? Oh well, you know what? We're a room of gamers, with the exception of Brandy, my sister.
Okay. Oh, is it the Gulag Boys right now? Or the Liddy,
there are
Liddy
a lot
committee?
of Gulag. There are a lot of Gulag boys in here. There's a lot of Liddy boys right here.
What's up to the Liddy boys? Gulag boys, let's do it.
Christian actually hasn't added me.
What's
On
up?
Call of Duty. Because I don't know what he's doing. He's just dodging me.
No
over
one
here.
likes you. Christian, you don't want to add Joe on Call of Duty?
Look, he's even muting himself. He's not even. You're muted. You're muted, Christian.
You don't even want to say anything.
Oh, he's like.
Oh, something wrong
Yeah,
with
you
your
haven't
headset?
added me. Anyway, we're the Gulag boys, right? Everybody, everyone in here is a Liddy boy, with the
What's up?
exception of Christian. But
Yeah.
he plays.
And we're changing it to Liddy Committee. Well,
It's
I'm going
gonna
to
be
be
the
adding
Liddy
you guys to
Committee.
Liddy Committee as I've been on.
Yeah, we're gonna be changing. We're gonna be moving over to the Liddy committee.
Yeah.
Uh,
trying to
I
be more
have to say
peaceful.
though, I have been spreading the gospel of Gulag Boys. And
Oh, shit.
Like Patrick, for example, has all his homies now are all Gulag Boys also.
Oh, shit.
They all, whenever they win the Gulag, they're all like Gulag Boys, and they come back in ready to go.
Nice, nice. Joe got that
It's
spread out
spreading.
quick.
Hey, So we've all gotten a dub in here, one more or less. I haven't gotten to play with Christian, but I don't know if you do. You play Christian? Do you play Call of Duty? He's still muted. There you go.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
we can hear you now.
Cool. Yeah. No, I haven't played it in like the longest time.
Okay.
I've been playing Ghost and then
Ghost of Tsushima.
the new Star Wars game.
Ah,
How
nice.
is Squadron?
Battlefront 2 is amazing. Oh, the new
No,
one.
we're talking about
Squadron, the-
which we
My
were
bad,
supposed to
my
have
bad,
Philip
my bad.
Duncan in here, but Philip Duncan
I
never came.
told you, it's my family.
And I put him on the fucking graphic.
I could be winning the president of the United States, and my brother be like, I'll make it if I can make it. Like, he won't be at the
You ever been on
inauguration.
the Star Tours ride at Disneyland? Squadrons feels a lot like that, but way more fun.
Really?
Oh, okay, nice.
Wow.
Nice.
I gotta get my because I have a VR headset. I let
does.
his brother borrow it.
Did he bring it back yet?
No, he hasn't brought it back.
Yeah,
yet.
fuck my brother.
But once I get the VR headset back, I'm gonna get on Squadron. But hey, wow, look at us guys. Here we are.
Have you all? As soon as we're talking about Squadron, has everybody here been to Disneyland and seen the new Star Wars area?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
of course.
Fuck, I have not.
No.
I was
I have
supposed to see
not.
it.
Loser.
Okay, great. Yay,
Really?
me and Ruben.
You guys haven't been
You're
there
not a
yet,
real fan.
bro.
I haven't had
it
the
is
blue
fucking
snot.
awesome. It is awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
I can't even express how awesome it is. Like going on the Millennium Falcon and doing that Smuggler's Run
Yeah.
is fucking great. Especially if you're able to do
Yeah.
it multiple times because you get to sit in a different seat.
Oh, every time.
There are 3 different seats that you get to sit on. So you get to be a pilot, you get to be a gunner, you get to be an engineer. So you're either fixing
Wow.
the ship. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. It's dope. And
Yeah,
I mean,
and
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Andrew asked a good question. Do you guys all have lightsabers?
I don't. I mean, I own like the little cheapy lightsabers.
Yeah, I have one. in the
I've been
basement.
meaning to buy one of those legit ones.
My brother has one,
but I
yeah.
haven't.
He has like 2.
Is
of
it-
that
is
shit.
it-
What color would it be?
My
Black.
color?
His will be black.
It would be orange for sure. It'd be like the yellow orange one. It's like the yellow hue, the little yellow orange.
Like your hair? Like your hair?
Hey, like his hair. Look at that shit. So fucking weird. Oh my god.
Holla at a real one. What up, shouties?
It's so weird. So wow, he's
Busted
showing
at the
it.
Changes color.
Look at that. He
Look,
smacked
as
it.
soon as all the
He smacked it like he owned it.
adults are out of the room,
Fucking nerdum comes out. I love it.
Yo.
Damn.
that was fucking
Gotta
great.
give me one of those.
Where's yours, Andrew?
Oh shit.
He's like,
Then he
hold
lights
on.
it up
I'm
and
gonna
like
go
it's
I
bust
want
it.
the-
It's
I
glow.
want
Oh,
those cheap one.
shit.
I want those cheap Target ones.
Ruben has one.
Hey!
Does it open? Does it?
Nah, you gotta probably put the attachment on
My
it.
blade's inside.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
have
okay.
the attachment where I can put 2 of them together. I can put 2 of them.
Oh, you
sweet.
son of a
Just
mother.
as a
That one's
double.
dope.
Nice.
That
I'm
one's
gonna
dope.
grab it. I'll be right back.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, okay,
Wait, so
so Go ahead.
I was
So
going
what-
to talk about
so-
The Mandalorian.
No, I don't want to
No,
talk
no,
about
no,
that.
no,
No, okay.
Did you not see
We're not
it?
going to talk about that.
I didn't watch the
He
last.
hasn't watched it. Okay,
Oh, you
real
guys
quick,
suck.
since we're all gamers here, what has been your adventure with either getting the PS5 or the Xbox? Because I know some of you are Xbox users, but what has the adventure been
Pussy.
for any of you
I know that was
regarding
tough
the
to get.
the
I love
Xbox
the meme
or the
content.
PS5? What was that?
Meme content that's coming out.
Oh, the
dude.
memes, those are
Yeah.
hilarious.
But do you have
Yeah.
any experiences as far as trying to buy the
Trying
PS5?
to get one? No. I'm gonna wait until
Andrew,
maybe next.
None of you?
Yeah, I'm waiting too. I'm waiting
Nah,
till next
it's
year.
not-
What the fuck,
There's
man?
nothing. Neither console really has anything
Exactly.
launch lineup.
Exactly.
Get going out for.
You're right.
Lie
right.
detector.
Not
The lie detector said that was a lie because there's
you're
plenty
true.
of content. I mean, the Cold War, the Miles Morales. If you're a
Yeah,
PlayStation
you can get
5,
that on PS4 already.
you
and
can, but
Xbox
it's not
One.
going to look as beautiful as it will on the PS5.
There needs to be exclusive stuff. We need a
you
Cyberpunk
need
2077.
something.
I've legit been buying like any games that I've been buying. I've been making sure that they're cross-platform. So once I do get the PS5, I can play it
That's
on
because
that
you're
as
a
well.
chode and a fanboy. So
Eat a
You
penis.
mean? Are you talking about like the free upgrade, Joe? You talking about the free
the
upgrade?
free upgrade, I think that's what he's doing.
Oh, is that okay? We're going there, Andrew. Is that? Are you,
Well,
is that
because they're all going to be.
he's like, is that what you're
compatible.
talking about?
You
Well,
need
both
you,
systems are backwards compatible.
name all of
Fuck
the,
you.
the PS5 exclusive only games for PS5. Name them. You can name them
Well,
on your
I think it's
fucking
Demon
hand.
Souls. The Demon Souls remake.
Demon
Yeah,
Souls?
that's it. That's one. Do you have any more? We have 10 fingers here, people.
Yeah, Miles, the Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Man.
So you're gonna buy a
Wait, did
$600
you say
system for two
Xbox
games?
exclusive or PlayStation exclusive?
No, PlayStation 5
PlayStation.
exclusive. Just PlayStation 5.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
like
not on PS4 then.
no, just
Oh, yeah,
PlayStation
just
5.
Demon Souls then.
You need the
Just Demon Souls.
justification for buying a PS5 for just the PS5 games. There's only
Hey,
like
Deets,
one.
are you gonna get a PS5?
Nope.
Final Fantasy VII.
God
not?
damn you.
No,
That's on
it's that,
PS4 though.
I'm
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. Yes. Final Fantasy 16.
That's another one. That's two games.
That's not
Oh
going
my-
to be out for like at least 2 more years.
Yeah, just wait. I
Who
mean, like
cares?
the
It's gonna be
impatience
out.
that Joe has is on a whole nother level.
What do you mean? I have a shitload of patience.
No, you don't. You want a PlayStation 5
Hey,
right
show
now.
me your rod, Ruben.
Okay, so my batteries aren't charged. But I
Okay.
can show you the quick attachment to the
Yeah.
double. So here's a single. Here's a single.
Oh, and then you click on the
These
dual.
are full contact savers.
Full
And
contact.
Boom, boom.
Oh,
and now-
shit.
Wow.
Okay. So you can do some.
Yeah.
Do you go to those
Thing is
academies
huge.
to
That
learn
just-
how to use them?
That Loki just gave me a stiffy.
I've watched videos on those academies and they're whack.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
If I
okay.
went in there, I would destroy everybody.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
you would.
He starts using the force. People fall back.
Fucking
What the
Because
pussies.
I'm actually trained with sword fighting, so.
Oh,
Of
shit.
course you are, because of course you are.
Because you're
Yeah.
Ruben. That's who you
Yeah.
are.
He's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Look at
college,
him,
we had
fucking
this combat
saying.
department.
He speaks like
And-
8 different languages.
That's
He's
right.
a super
He's
He's like, it's
saiyan.
only
But in
6, but
college-
whatever.
Yeah.
In college, we had a stage combat department, and so we had to actually learn how to fight using different weapons before we
Oh,
learned how to
shit.
fake it.
What college
so
did
I
you go
learned
to again?
double. I went to AMD. I went to the American Musical and Dramatic Academy.
Oh,
We had
okay.
we had single hand sword fighting. We had dual hand fighting, and so like actually going to any of these lightsaber gatherings. I've gone to one before when the first. Force Awakens
So you
came
know
out.
what's up.
I went with my buddy downtown, and they had an actual tournament area, and I was in there for the longest time, just
Nice.
destroying everybody.
Wow.
Look at him.
Is there video? Can we
Weird
see this?
flex, but okay.
There's video somewhere.
Oh shit. Okay. Then we can
destroy you in the saber battle.
I know.
That'd be nice.
I could
destroy you in the
I can't wait till we actually can use the force. That'd be some dope shit. What would you do if you could use the force? What would you do with it?
Kill Gavin Newsom. What?
Oh shit.
I wouldn't
You
kill
choke
Gavin
him out?
Newsom. I'd probably take out Trump. But...
I mean, you have the
Trump
force.
has
You have the
Drake,
force, and you would use it to kill
What do
somebody.
you say? Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Legitimately.
I wouldn't kill anyone with the force, man.
What?
I just,
Yeah, why would you?
I don't think I would. What was that? Speezy, what was that?
What does that say?
What does that say? Nah, you got to read that to us because we can't read that.
I don't
shit.
know how to read. I can't read.
Unmute
I went to
yourself and
public
read
school.
that.
Yo, it says right here, Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know if you're familiar with that team, Joe.
Oh shit.
Signed a 2-year deal with Marcus Saul.
Oh yeah, I told him already, bro. I told him before the pod even started that we got Marcus Gasol, and we took one of your guys. What was the 6 man?
Fuck you. Lakers got money.
Damn it,
We
y'all
got
about
Yeah,
money.
y'all
yeah.
about to repeat.
Bro, don't even trip. I already
You guys
told
are gonna
him.
repeat.
As soon as that shit got signed a few hours
I
ago,
wish
told
Ray
him.
was here. He'd also make fun of me. God
shit.
damn it.
I told him, fuck the Clippers and fuck all Clippers fans.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fucking
Stupid
Clippers
ass.
fans.
Fuck
Stupid ass.
you,
Whack
idiot.
ass winless Clipper fans.
Fuck you.
You know nothing about winning.
I know a lot about
Oh,
winning. I'm a
shit.
winner. Anyway, guys, I think we've gotten to the soapbox portion of our podcast.
Oh, okay.
For those of you tuning in who are just tuning in for the first time, the soapbox portion of our podcast is where the guests, the hosts, anybody gets an opportunity to speak on whatever they want to speak on, whether it's promoting something, shouting someone out, venting, doing anything. You get to speak on whatever it is for an unspecified amount of time, as long as you need, uninterrupted. And we got a good amount of you guys on here, and I'm so happy that throughout the night we've had a good amount of people coming in and out. For the listeners,
2-3 followers on IG. That's great.
I hope you guys really enjoy this episode because this is an
good.
accumulation.
It's a special one.
There's an accumulation of everything that we've done. Again, this is the None of Our Business podcast. We speak on shit that we don't have a right to speak on, but we still talk about it. And it's painfully apparent when we were talking about government and all that shit because we have our own views, we have our own values, but I feel that it's still something we're speaking on. Even if it's wrong, at least it's being spoken on. So we have a good amount of guests still on with us. I want to make sure that they get to say whatever they want to speak on, and then we'll head to ourselves. We'll go in order that I see on the Zoom here. So Christian Villa, Christian Villa.
Hey.
It is your soapbox. Feel free.
Yeah, all right. Just want to say, fuck minivan drivers. Every time I'm driving on the freeway and I almost die, it's because of a fucking minivan driver. So fuck them. Fuck them also because they also have kids in there.
Fuck their kids too.
Yeah, fuck their kids and fuck them. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. That's
Sweet. That's cool. You can make it short and sweet. It's good. It's good. It's a lot of us
That was
here.
beautiful. Hey,
I like it.
Fuck minivan.
I like it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't know.
Yeah, that's my dad though.
All right. Andrew Orozco, my cousin. Hit us with your soapbox, bud. You have to unmute yourself.
Oh yeah, I know that. Shoot, I don't. Let me think. Can I go to after the next person?
Once you're called out, you're called out. You gotta.
No, we'll
pop
give
it.
him an opportunity. Ruben Vernier, hit us with your soapbox.
I was trying to think about what to talk about, and a lot of negative stuff was popping up. But I want to try and keep it positive. I want to try and spread more positivity.
Nah,
So,
fuck that. Sorry. Just say it. Just say all the nasty
Yeah.
shit you want to.
That's right. I really want to talk about how important it is to keep track of or keep on top of your mental health during all of this. I just want to share that the most mentally balanced, happy people I know in my life are athletes and people that do. All right, I'll pause. I'll just wait. Good to go.
I'm sorry.
Your
Go ahead.
soapbox is supposed to be non-interruptive, so
Turn
we
your
can't.
mic off. It's supposed to be non-interrupted. You totally interrupted me.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
It
Ruben.
makes them
The,
pop.
the happiest, most content people I know are athletes and people who exercise on the daily. So even if it's just 20 to 30 minutes, something where you're getting your heart rate up, that will help you so much when it comes to long-term mental health. But the negative thing I wanted to talk about really fast was just how holidays nowadays are unsustainable. Sure, holidays back in the day, in the 1600s were wonderful, or the 1400s were wonderful. The population levels were much lower. But we have 8 trillion people now on this planet. I mean, Thanksgiving alone in America, we killed 250 million turkeys. How many Christmas trees get chopped down for Christmas? I mean, I could just keep going and going. But I just want to say, try to think of ways you can lower your impact on the planet through these holidays. That's it. Peace. Love you guys.
Hey.
Thank you.
Rube,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much.
Yeah.
All right,
Hell
Andrew,
yeah.
you had an opportunity to come
Yeah.
up with
This is
something.
your second
Are
chance.
you ready?
Joe doesn't give him out.
Oh, actually, yeah. Since
He's ready. He's ready. Hey,
doggy.
oh,
Little
the dog,
puppy.
little puppy.
Andrew, hit us with your soapbox.
It's probably confusing for audio only listeners, but there's a cute dog on screen. All right. So actually, yeah. Partly inspired by you guys, most, and also of course Philly. I've actually recorded a couple episodes of a podcast I'm coming out with myself, my cousin Johnny.
Ooh,
Hey.
nice.
We're doing a video game themed podcast, just pretty much just about video games.
I want to be a
And
guest. All right.
of
Wow,
course, you're gonna be
weird
on there.
flex.
I'm right now just barely creating the Twitter handle for it, but it's gonna be called the what was it, the Duo Sense podcast.
Okay.
And it's kind of a play on words, like dual sense, like the controller for the PS5, but duo in the terms of two, DUO, and then SENSE. So it's kind of what we call it. We call it evergreen material, where it's stuff that's not really outdated, hopefully. So it's just random stuff on there. If you guys would like to check that out, that would be great. We're in the process of putting that on Anchor this week. And yeah, it also kind of sucks. There's not that many options because a lot of other sites charge for hosting podcasts. So
There's actually another one called Himalaya. They host podcasts as well. But honestly, we allow Anchor to host our podcast, and they are incredibly fluid. So honestly, Anchor is a great place to start because they're owned by Spotify. So you're able to post something, and then almost immediately you're gonna have your stuff on Spotify and Apple Music. So we highly recommend Anchor for sure. Anchor is a great place to have your podcast hosted. So it's a good move. It's a good move. And your statistics, you get to see your analytics. It shows it pretty accurately. So
right.
it's a
I
good
mean,
place to host.
yeah, I know like the whole podcasting thing, especially right now because of COVID and everything, is kind of oversaturated.
No
but
shit.
Hey man,
I figured for fun,
I have room for podcasts, so I always want to listen to new podcasts. So that's awesome. Sorry,
So
I
once
interrupted
again-
your soapbox.
That's fine, no worries. It's called the Duo Sense podcast, and yeah, that's about it. Thanks.
Sweet.
Thanks
All
for letting me
right.
say that.
Sweet.
Joe.
Love
All
it.
right.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you.
Chris Espeasy.
Hey, get it.
Chris Espeasy. We know you. We know who you are.
We like boys.
Unmute yourself. It is
What's
your
up? What's up?
soapbox. It is your soapbox, pal. Just so we can guess. We were trying to guess where you were earlier today.
Home Depot.
One
Was it
person
Costco?
saying Home Depot, one saying
Oh,
Costco.
He's got Mexican blood for sure because he fought that Home Depot.
Hey, yo, them orange racks, bro. I know them orange racks, man,
God.
and that ceiling too. Fuck with your boy.
Oh, wow.
So it was Home Depot. All right. Chris
bro, I
Espeasy.
just got off of work.
Hit
Just
us.
got off of work and I remembered your pod. So
Nice.
I went-
That's some good
That's
dedication
awesome,
there.
dude.
I like
Thank
it.
you. Thank you for joining us. Hey, hit us with your soapbox, dude.
Yeah, so just real quick, it's just so I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately. I got on pretty late. I just got on like around July. And that's why I hit Joe up. I was like, hey, what's up with this Call of Duty shit? Like, I'm not feeling it, bro. He's like, bro, this is the shit. Like, this is what you gotta do. So I started playing, and I dig it, bro. I'm not that great, but I love playing with the boys and talking shit and just playing. But I just was like telling my girl, like it's kind of a weird hobby, right? Like you're saying, oh, I'm gonna go home and play games with the boys, but it's kind of cool, bro. Like it's cool that I picked up that hobby because, like me, I'm so used to going to the park playing some ball or going to the gym, hanging out with my boys or whatever, and it's just that little time that we hang out, dude. That kind of just relieves some stress, bro. Like capping on some foods that it's fucking cool, bro. Like that shit, it helps out a lot,
Nice.
for sure. And I really didn't understand that shit until, like, cause I see TikToks of, chilling with the boys. I'm like, man, I'm never gonna get to that stage. I'm never gonna get a headset. I'm never gonna get a chair. Motherfucker, I got a fucking headset. Like, I'm ready to go. Like, it's fun, bro, and I really enjoy it. And I'm glad that I played with a few guys. I think I played with Keenan a few times. I kind of hear the voice. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's some dope shit, bro, and I dig it for sure. So yeah, I just want to speak on that, and it's cool. Like I just like the fact that we all have those little hobbies, like because I think that we all need that. Even our girls, dude. Like I tell my girl all the time, like go do some shit, go run or go do your. I don't give a fuck. Just get the fuck out of here. Like go chill with the girls or something. And it's crazy because like my girl's like, oh, you're gonna play again? I'm like, yeah, like, but I'm chilling right here. I'm in the next room. Like you call me, I'm here. I'm here. My son's right here watching me play. He loves it, and like she's starting to get it now. So it's cool, man. Like I really dig it. I don't know how your guys' girls are, but it's cool now.
You're home, not cheating.
Yeah, there you
That's the
go.
most. That's the most important part.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
I get food. I get food with the family. I'm not out there spending food. I'm
Yup.
not spending money. I'm chilling. Like, where you at? I'm fucking right here. I'm fucking right here.
What's your Call of Duty name for our audience?
Chris says,
For our audience.
My name's I think it's CS Spinoza 91. I'm probably on the crew. Like if we run quads,
Chris
I'm the guy
Espo.
that talks shit. Chris Espo, yeah. That's
There
me.
you go.
I'm the one that talks shit, and I'm the one that makes the funny comments. I'm the one that slaps the ass after like a good hit. That's me. I'm the one in
Okay.
the back. You feel me?
Yeah,
That's me. You guys-
here's the trademark of Chris. Is every time he kills someone, he says you're welcome.
Oh yeah. I was like,
Every
"You're
time he
welcome."
kills him, he
It's
says you're
probably-
welcome.
And it's probably the only kill I have all fucking night. Like, motherfucker, see that? You see that? All right, cool. All right.
That's what I noticed. When I was playing with him, is every time he would kill someone, he would just be like, "You're welcome," like very subtle, just like "You're welcome." It would be a quick one, and I was like, "Oh, I like that. That's cool."
That's good. And you just got into it. This is like this year. You just got into that game.
Yeah, like I used to play
Interesting.
the old school shit.
Okay.
I kind of just fell off. I was always just playing that Madden, like Madden and 2K. I was always playing
Yeah,
that.
that's me too.
And then in like July, because I play with my nephews, I try to play with that Fortnite shit, and I couldn't do that shit at all, dude. That shit was horrible. So that's when my little nephew was like, "Oh, get on Warzone. Everybody's playing this shit." And I was like, "All right." So
Yeah.
I tried it. And then Joe was the one that kind of told me, like, "All right, play with me and my boys."
Yeah,
and
we're
you'll see
good.
how-
We're good.
How it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is dope."
We make it fun. Yeah, we make it fun to play with us. That's the key.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Appreciate
Fun
you,
as
Chris. Appreciate you
Yeah.
coming
Gulag
on with
boys,
us.
let's do it.
Gulag boys all day. Now we're gonna head over to Deech as our newest co-host and member of the None of Our
Hey,
Business
get it.
podcast.
As a
Deech.
new host and member, you have to suck Joe's dick.
I mean, that's when the camera turns off.
Again? Again?
Again.
I mean,
Hey,
how many times?
It's official this time,
Maybe the
though.
third time.
Yeah.
He told me
Deech.
this twice already.
Yeah, I'm already used to semen. So.
hit us with your soapbox, brother.
I don't really have anything, but I am selling these at-home COVID kits. I know, especially since this shit is rampant, and people don't want to wait in line, especially at Dodger Stadium or wherever the hell you got to make an appointment. Results come in 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever it may be, 2-3 days. I am selling these home kits. I know the government, the FDA just approved like Lucira's home kit. They're selling that shit for like $100-some, which is
Shit.
ridiculous. You can't fucking afford that.
Dumb.
Health is wealth. I'm selling these kits. You can DM me at Deech_wants_tacos. Or you can even just leave a message at the new podcast. I'm sure you guys will let me know.
At the new podcast.
Sure.
Yeah. But they're really simple. They're a nose swab or a throat swab. You get results in like 10-15 minutes. I have them at the crib all the time. They're straight from Korea. My boss, he has family in Korea that sends them over, and it's very convenient. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're quarantined for a little bit, or if you have any symptoms, and you want to get something done right away, just to make sure you're good and your family's good. Hit me up. I'll give you some COVID tests. I'll give it to you at my cost. I'm not trying to make money off of them. I'm just trying to just make sure it's convenient and available for people. So that's the one thing. Other than that, I'm just honored to be a part of the new podcast. I've been listening for a minute now, and I love everything that you guys have done. That now I guess I could say we, but
Hey.
100th episode. That's a huge thing, man. It's a milestone. 100 fucking episodes. People want to listen to you for a fucking 100 episodes.
We don't.
You know what I mean?
Maybe some
I
people
mean,
might have came in on episode 50.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I think you guys talk about like real shit, and so I'm very very honored to be a part of this.
Nice.
Joe, I love you. I'm so glad that I met you through TSG through LAFC. If you guys don't know how we got how I met Joe is because of LAFC and our supporters group, which is the Tiger supporters group, um, and I think we have a great group of people in our supporters group, and a lot of people who want to be potential Tigers. But it's given me like an outlet and a like just to be able to meet people who love the sport. And for me, I didn't really give a shit about sport. I only cared about Korean World Cup soccer. I thought soccer was gay as fuck.
Shit.
And for my boy Ben Chi, shout out Ben Chi to hit me up because I'm a huge sports fan. I'm a huge Raiders fan, and he knows that I'm a huge sports fan. To be a part of something in LA, starting from nothing, there was no coach, no players, nothing, and say, hey, we want to build. We want to have a Korean supporters group in one of the major league sports in the country, and to meet people like Joe, and through you to meet Keenan, and everybody that's part of the group. Chris, he's part of TSG too. It's a beautiful thing, man. Sports brings people together, unless you're a Clippers fan, because fuck everybody who's a fucking Clippers fan. Because they're a bunch of losers. But yeah, I wholeheartedly hate fucking Clippers. So just want that to be put out there.
And we're still friends.
Yeah, you can have a difference of opinions in sports and politics and whatever, as long as you realize that the connections that you've had are real and it's not susceptible to your beliefs. Because you're an atheist, right? I'm a Christian.
And I have no idea what I am.
Yeah,
I'm fucking
confused. You don't
Joe's
know.
actually a Satanist.
Yes, Joe is a Satanist. That's a real.
Oh, I mean,
a real
yeah,
religion.
I think I remember that.
Joe's a Satanist.
Straight up.
So is Luis. Shout out,
Shout out Luis.
But I mean, as long as we realize that we are, like, deep inside, we have core belief. We want to just love each other and make sure that we better each other and just help each other out. I think that's all we need. I have people who are Democrats, who are Republicans, who are Trump supporters, who are not Trump supporters, and 15 years of friendship means nothing once they find out that you're a Trump supporter, and then they just end it. And it's like, that's fucking stupid. That's stupid as hell. So that means nothing. All the time that you guys have it to it. Come on, man. Everyone has different beliefs. You just need to be able to respect their beliefs, right? And then just move forward. And that's it. You have disagreements with everybody, your family included. And as long as you know that you guys have each other's backs, that's all you need. I have your back. I have your back. We all have each other's backs. Which, by the way, I don't know if you know where that term came from, but it came from like way back when they were having war, and the people that had your back, they were having like gay kind of love.
That's what that means?
That's what that's.
Well, then I'm here.
That's
I'm
literally,
here for
that's-
it. I'm here.
Look
for
it up, but that's what that means. I got your back means I got your backside. Anyway, I think that's that's my. Also, go Raiders, motherfuckers! We're beating the Chiefs, motherfuckers! Fuck the Chiefs! Raiders!
Keenan, hit us with your soapbox.
Thank you for everybody on the Zoom, on the IG. Thank you for listening. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for telling your friends about us, for spreading the word, for being a part of the None of Our Business podcast. I'm so glad we're at our 100th episode. I did not think for one fucking second when I was on this show at episode 3 that I was going to be a part of a 100th episode series event. And I'm looking forward to being on this 200th episode with Deech at like the fucking Pantages with an audience of, 10,000 people with all of you in the front fucking row, or backstage in the VIP with all these big breasted bitches we're going to be having in the back. But
check out bitches.
But
big ass titties.
But aside from my fantasy come to real life in 1 year, thank you, Joe, for having us at your house. We could have did it anywhere in Los Angeles, but you, for some reason, wanted to have it here I don't know why you're crazy as fuck.
Convenience.
But I love you for it. I was gonna say, but yeah, and thank you, Deech, for being the new host on the show. Hopefully, it will be a good next 100 episode with very minimal fighting between us. Hopefully, we'll have a little banter, but
No promises.
yeah, no promises. But I'm glad you're on the show. And again, let everybody know who we are, your friends, family, your COVID tester who shoves the thing up your nose. Tell them about us. Tell Trump when he's out of office about us. Have his family listen to it. Tell Gavin, whatever his name is. I don't even know who he is. I didn't vote for him anyway. So my soapbox is thank you to everybody. Thank you to Joe for letting me come a part of this a year ago and more. Thanks for being a friend. You know.
It's okay to cry.
Yeah, thanks for Deej for being a new friend. Thanks for coming on. It's just a big thank you to everybody, and hopefully we can get this going and promote our show and make it bigger and better. And then you're all a part of it. Like I'm not gonna forget you. Some of you I might forget, but I won't forget you guys who are all here. You know, Gulag Boys for Life, who's now the Liddy Committee, who's Liddy Boys, who's Rooftop Boy. You know, all that stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. 1,000 thank yous for all our listeners who are listening to this through Zoom later on Monday when it's released. Thank you for listening to us. Please let us know what you think and thoughts. Chime in, help us out. Let's grow this thing together for another more 100 episodes.
That was beautiful, Keenan.
Amen.
I love you, Joe.
I
said it to his face with his eyes.
He did say
he wasn't there for that. He wasn't there for that.
It's very hard for Keenan to tell me he loves me, especially in front of people.
At
So
the
the fact that he just said he loves me.
Just fuck you, Joe.
This tops off episode 100.
Wait, Joe, I have your back.
All right, guys. First and foremost, I want to
too,
thank
Andrew.
everyone who came on to the Zoom tonight. We had a rotating cast of about 18 people who came in and out. So that is phenomenal. I wasn't expecting more than 10. The fact that there was more than that and some of you guys stuck around with us is fucking beautiful. I love it. Friends and family alike that are in here with us, thank you so much. Thank you to Deech for joining us this, at the end of this season. He's been coming in and out of the throughout the season. He's been in maybe 4 or 5 episodes this season, and it just made sense. The more and more he was on, the more and more it kind of felt like, he's vibing with us. He's vibing with us, and then it just felt right. I asked Keenan, of course, Keenan and I made the decision together, and it felt right. We're on our 100th episode. It's a huge thing. It's a huge thing for anybody. The fact that this is 100 episodes and we're still going is a fucking milestone. Like, I never thought that we'd be at this point in time. Like, and the fact that we still have listeners who still come. Yes, it's declined a little bit because of COVID, but I feel that it's the same with any podcast. I've spoken to a lot of my friends who have podcasts, and they have the same effect. They've lost a couple listeners, but we know that they'll be back. It's hard to listen to a podcast if you're just at home not doing anything. A lot of people like to listen when they're at work or traveling. So I understand the decline. Keenan, I thank you so much for still being part of this. I really appreciate you. You're my best friend. And the fact that you're still doing this with me. This started from an idea that Philly and I had. We just wanted, we figured, look, we hang out a lot. We fuck around a lot. We have great conversations. So why not make a podcast? Like, we have a lot of great topics. We laugh a lot. We have a lot of insight. So why not make a podcast? And the fact that we're 100 episodes in, and the fact that we had a rotating cast tonight of great people, great individuals who had a lot of insight, who spoke on a lot of things that were just phenomenal. Whether it was Ruben talking about it, the stocks, whether it was Chris talking about, small businesses. We had Walter in here giving his insight, and even Philly, an ex-co-host, coming in and speaking his piece about a variety of things was fucking phenomenal. I feel that this podcast has grown to be something
that's not just for Keenan and I, and now Deech, not just for the three of us, but this is a community. This is a community podcast. We like to bring in our friends. We like to bring in people who have something to say, whether it's just bullshit or actual insightful stuff. This podcast is for the people. More than anything, is for the people, and the fact that people are still listening to it, and the fact that we're at where we're at, and we're only going to grow a lot more from this point forward. It really is representative of the listeners, because obviously we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't have a lot of people listening to this show still. And we wouldn't be growing if we didn't feel that this podcast had anything for the people. So thank the listeners and thank the viewers, because this is going to be up on our YouTube, for continuing to listen to us and continuing to give us feedback. We really appreciate everyone, every single person who has been a part of this podcast. We appreciate you, and we hope we're able to do this for another 100, another 200, another 300 episodes, and then maybe Keenan will break off and do his own thing and, leave the podcast. And then maybe I'll be able to do the podcast that I want to do. I don't know. Wow. I'll be a billionaire when I break off. Honestly, we appreciate everybody. Last season, we wanted to do a live show, but COVID prevented us from doing that. This season is ending, and we're like, fuck it, let's do a Zoom. That way, everyone gets to be part of it. Anyone who has wanted to speak on it can speak on it, and we get people to actually interact with us and get to be part of this experience. So we genuinely, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you guys, and we look forward to what the rest of this podcast can do in the future of this. Oh my God! He tried. I was there. I was almost there. I love you guys. We love you, guys. This has been episode 100 of the None of Our Business podcast. We got Chris Espinoza. We had Christian Villa. We have Andrew Orozco. We have Ruben Vernier. We got Deech Chung. We got Keenan Duncan. This is episode 100. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Oh, and he got the red saber. Oh, and it makes sounds. Oh, that's fucking
You can't put their windows next to each other, so it looks like they're fighting.
Yeah, like close. I wish I could move it. I fucking love it. Oh my God. This has been episode 100, you nasty bitches. And hey, shout out to all the IG viewers who are still on with us.
All three of you.
We love you guys, all three of you. I don't know how many are in here.
Somebody's
but we love you. We love you.
Two. It's two.
Hey, I'm in the back. Okay. Okay.
It's your girl.
We love you
checking up on
guys. Juan, we love you. Katie, we love you. Thank you for being on with us. And the rotating cast who has been in and out. We love you guys. Thank you so much. This has been episode 100 of the None of Our Business podcast. Bow, 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 bow. Eat your woman out. Suck your man's dick.
Swallow.
Swallow.
We'll take it.
Christian Villa.
Eat some booty.
Christian Villa.
Yeah.
That's right. Chris Espizzi. Oh, in the booty.
Okay. Hey! The pig went in his thing.
Okay. Andrew Orozco. Okay. He waved. Ruben Vernier.
Love yourself.
Hey.
Yeah.
Goddamn right. We love you guys.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us.
Masturbate.
Hey. We got 2 extra minutes if you want to say something to make it 3 hours straight. Well, now that it's just us,
Now that it is just.
Any last thoughts on our 100th episode then? Congratulatory.
I love you.
How do you feel about it?
I think it was great. You had a bunch of people, but you did fail to mention that none of the food dude motherfuckers jumped onto the fucking Zoom call. You assholes!
That's
I
a
even
lie.
threw it up on fucking chat.
We had Josh Spice jump in
Okay,
really quick.
Okay.
But
Josh is the
I
best.
like to consider him as part of FCFC.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
love him.
disappointed, man. Like I threw it up on chat. Said, hey, you guys need to jump on the new pod, Zoom call.
My family said, "Fuck you,
And,
Keenan."
Oh well, I mean,
kinda did.
I'm not surprised.
Oh,
But
shit.
the food dudes though, come on, where were you guys, man? Where the fuck were you?
I think we should have had at least 25 to like 30 people.
I think so, man.
We had
No, it was a
18
good. No,
we
it was a
had
good
18
amount. But I
people
mean,
coming
like
in and out.
the amount of people we actually know that are like.
Oh, of course, because they're
Yeah.
dicks, you know. So fuck
For
all of
shame.
them.
For
But you know what? We're gonna be laughing at them when we're taking this podcast to the bank, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Deej, thank you so much
Famoso.
for joining us.
Yeah,
dude.
man, you
this
did
is gonna
great.
be.
No, this is
I
awesome.
love your input. I, love your
think,
style.
I think.
love your
I think.
voice.
Ooh.
His voice is
yeah.
Deej's voice is. That's
Hey,
why, that's my
guys.
main reason why I want you on here.
Thank you.
A black dude, a Mexican dude, and a Korean dude walk into a bar.
Hey, that's who we are. I gotta
And
change my
They
logo
say they're the
now.
none of our business podcasts, and people respect the shit out of it. so,
Yes,
you know.
sir.
Damn.
Free drinks.
Free
for us
drinks
forever.
Shit.
Free drinks forever.
I can't wait
Forever.
till we get some new promo photos too. By the way.
We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in,
We out.
and we'll see you later.
Yeah, we out.